Shout out to everybody. So it looked like Trump out here signing them executive orders. Hold on. Let me get this stream right. But let's listen to some of this.
Okay, and how many people is this?
I think this order will apply to approximately 1,500 people.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Wait, hold up. What?
Of pardons and commutations relating to events that occurred on January 6, 2021.
Okay, and how many people is this?
I think this order will apply to approximately 1,500 people.
So this is January 6th. These are the hostages. Approximately 1,500 for a pardon.
Yes.
Full pardon.
Full pardon or commutation?
Full pardon. We have about 6 commutations in there where we're doing further research.
Okay.
Nice to see you again.
And you too.
Yo, he is wasting no time. Shout out to Trump Thug Life. He is, look at all them executive orders right there. He is not playing. He said, yo, I'm signing a lot of these executive orders before I get in. You know, the day I get in, he not playing. They all lay it out. Let's listen to what some of these are.
So this is a big one. Anything you want to explain about this? We hope they get them. We hope they come out tonight, frankly. We're expecting it. Approximately 1,500 people. Six commutations.
Were there any cases you've taken out or pardon of people?
We're looking at different things, but the commutations would be the ones that we'll take a look and maybe it'll stay that way or it'll go to full pardon.
And the order does require the Bureau of Prisons to act immediately on receipt.
Oh, so what? So he about to get some of them January 6 people out of jail.
6 commutations.
Were there any cases you've taken out or pardon of people?
We're looking at different things, but the commutations would be the ones that we'll take a look and maybe it'll stay that way or it'll go to full pardon.
And the order does require the Bureau of Prisons to act immediately on receipt of the pardons and commutation orders. Sir, this is an
Why don't we
executive.
get that down so they can get them going right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. This is a proclamation guaranteeing the state's protection against invasion based on the current crisis at the southern border. It invokes various executive powers relating to the ongoing invasion at the southern border.
I like that. So nice getting the executive powers in relation to the ongoing invasion that's going on at the southern border. I like the way that they said that. You know, they didn't just say, oh, well, executive powers to, kind of shore up the border. No, this is an invasion. Bro, there's an executive order. The reason why I wanted to do this, y'all won't believe what he just signed, bro. Y'all will not believe what he signs later. Shout out to Trump Thug Life. Think MAGA TV said 1,500 people full party. Get them out of jail. Get them out. Especially when you got the committee that had thrown out all of the paperwork and all of this. Like, get these people out of jail, bro. Stop playing.
Mr. President, what makes you confident that those are not going to be blocked?
Bobby said, anyone else feeling more hopeful than they have in a very long time? Yeah, I think Trump is about to, every time I go live, my phone start going crazy. Like, why do y'all be doing this? Y'all know I'm live.
By the courts.
Yeah, I feel hopeful. I think he's gonna hold on. Let me see. Yo, yeah, I'm just like calling you. Did you see the video on some of the pardons? Oh yeah, just go to the White House YouTube channel. I think I sent you a link on it. He is not playing. Trump. Yo, he did one of the executive orders, like, the cartels, he classified them as like foreign terrorist organizations. I'm like, yo, I'm like, yo, he not playing. So that basically the United States can, like, you know what I mean? He can use the full United States power on them. Yeah. So that's wild, military and it all. And then he's got one, so you know, like people coming here and having babies. You know what they call them. I'm live, so I can't like say what it is. But yeah, so he made it to where they can't do that no more. Like he signed executive order, you cannot come here and have babies and that the baby has automatic citizenship. That's not going down. Yeah, so yo, yo, he is not playing, bro. So yeah, I'm about to get off here. Yeah, y'all already heard. He's signing them orders, baby. First of all, shout out to the cartels. I ain't got no problems with y'all thug life. I'm just saying some of the things Trump is signing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with y'all. I want to put that out there. No problem with the cartels. You know what I'm saying? Thug life. I ain't got no problem. I'm just saying some of the things that he's signing. I'm going in.
I don't think they will. I don't think they can be. They're very straight up. Why don't you take that and go over here? Can you get him over here? Not on the side angle. Do you mind? Just go right over here with your friends. Okay.
Sir, this is an
You cannot come to this country no more if you're a you're a foreigner and just have a baby and like you get automatic citizenship. Like that's not happening anymore. Like we like the only country that does that. He signed that in a lot. Like bro, like no, we not doing that. So he is not playing. First of all, I do want to make this very clear. Cartels, I ain't got no problem with y'all. I was just, you know, saying what he doing. Don't believe these comments. I ain't got no problem. I don't be talking about y'all. Shout out to y'all.
executive order realigning the United States revenue.
Marcus Chapman said, Piperboy's scared of them cartels. Yes! I don't have no problem with them. They let them rock out. I ain't got no problem with them. Shout out to all of them.
Admission program to better align with American principles and American interests.
I like what he's doing on this January 6th thing, though. I like that.
Okay.
Marcus Chapman trying to get people caught up, bro. Like, no, bro. Like, hold on. Loser Dove said Trump is gonna get you. Yeah, so all them like, you know what I mean? All that stuff that's been coming into America, because he ends up saying like, yo, it's over 200,000, like over 300,000 like Americans have died like over this. Like that's a problem. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying what he's saying.
Sir.
Exactly, Red Blue. He said the pen is the sword. Harry Zone said what he did on January 16th.
This next executive order is about protecting America from foreign terrorists and other national security and public safety threats. Again, crisis at the border, but it goes beyond that and it implicates other executive powers as well.
You guys know they're going to end up uploading all of this on the White House website so we can read through that and see it.
President Trump, with cartels are now going to be seen as foreign terror organizations. If you think about ordering U.S. Special Forces into Mexico to take them out.
Could happen. Stranger things have happened.
Mr. President,
And that was actually
that Maduro would accept Venezuelans.
Say it.
How would you make sure that Maduro would accept Venezuelans?
Well, we're going to see Venezuela. We're looking at Venezuela very strongly. It's a country I know very well, for a lot of reasons, and it's well, it was a great country 20 years ago, and now it's a mess.
Sir, can we expect ICE raids starting tomorrow in major cities?
What does that mean?
Can we expect ICE raids in major cities?
She's asking, can we expect ICE raids like starting tomorrow, like getting people up out of the country is what she's saying.
I don't want to say when, but it's going to happen. Has to happen, or we're not going to have a country left.
This is actually an executive order designating the cartels and other organizations to be foreign terrorist organizations.
Yeah, hit the like button. I see somebody hitting 100. Shout out to you. Hit the like button. Stop playing with me, man. Hit that like button.
That's a big one.
Yes, sir.
People have wanted to do this for years. So they are now designated as terrorist organizations, foreign. And
Yo, that is crazy, bruh. Yo. I never thought an American president would sign something like that. Yo, that's crazy. So now he could use the United States military against like cartels. Yo, this dude is not playing, bruh.
Mexico probably doesn't want that. But we have to do what's right.
He said Mexico probably doesn't want that, but we have to do what is right.
They're killing our people. They're killing 250, 300,000 American people a year. Not 100, like has been reported for 15 years. It's probably 300,000.
This is an
So you
executive.
just said Mexico doesn't want that, how are you gonna deal with this?
I don't know, you'll have to ask them.
Sir, this is an executive order entitled Protecting the American People Against Invasion, which again deals with the southern border and the unprecedented admission of illegal aliens across the southern border.
And let's get this straight though. We're like one of the only countries in the world that just allows people to come over here. Bro, like when I go to different countries, you have to have a passport. They like they want to ask you a million questions. Like, bro, they just go straight through like this is crazy. And then just go to New York and be getting $350 a week for food. And yo, there's a video on Twitter. Let me show y'all this video, man. It's a video on Twitter, right? Somebody like quoted me on it. Yo, it said it's over popular voice. Hold on. It said migrants who were waiting for their 1 p.m. CBP1 payroll appointments learned 20 minutes ago that the app has shut down and those appointments are no longer valid. Wow. And then the lady said, for clarification, everyone on these folks submitted biometric, biographical, and other ID info to the United States government via app in order to enter the country legally through this Biden administration program that sought to cut illegals' entries. They had DHS sanctions appointments set for today. Let's see. So they crying. Yeah, ain't gonna be easy to come up in here no more.
What do you see the biggest national security threat to the U.S. Mr. President? What's going to be your priority on foreign policy?
Say?
What's going to be your priority on foreign policy? What do you see as the biggest national
Foreign policy is a
security
big statement. I mean,
We can't go to New York and get free money no more. Americans have to work. Now we might have to figure out a way to get here in America and work too. Like, how y'all feel like when in New York, Eric Adams and them was giving like illegal immigrants $1,400 a month in food vouchers? I know he stopped it. You know, he's trying to comply with Trump and said that he would also assist with the deportations and stuff like that. So shout out to Eric Adams for that. I think he's looking for a pardon because he's being investigated, right? They did an indictment on him for campaign funds and taking bribes and all of that stuff. So I'm sure he's going to be looking for a pardon from Trump if it ends up getting a little bit too crazy in the courts. But yeah, they were giving illegal immigrants $1,400 a month, not every 2 months, not every 3 months, a month, just to be here illegally. Meanwhile, people in New York are paying like $2,000 something, sometimes $3,000 plus dollars a month for rent, and they got to pay for food, and you know they can barely like make it, and these people are just coming over there and getting $1,400 a month for food, $350 a week for food. That is insanity, man. Insanity.
My priority on foreign policy. It's going to be to keep America safe. Very simple. It's a big question, though. That's a very big question.
Who's going to be the first
Forster said, if I was Trump, I'd tell Eric Adams to work with him on deportation. In exchange, Eric gets a part. I mean, Forster, Eric Adams already said that he's going to comply with Trump. He already said it. So he's looking forward to complying with Trump and working like to assist Trump. Bro, this is the president of the United States. He knows like his place. Like he's the mayor, right? The governor is not even going to help Eric Adams. Like the governor was looking at getting Eric Adams removed when the indictment came down. So he can't rely on the governor, which the governor didn't, like, you know what I mean, get him removed, but the threat was there. Like the governor said that he's going to get him removed. So yeah, the next ally is the president of the United States. This dude's got pardon powers. And he's going to be like, you know, the president over the Department of Justice. Look what the Department of Justice did under the Biden administration. They could have did a lot of things, the Department of Justice, but the time was spent going after Trump. You know, and I think that was the Achilles heel. That was the thing that messed the Democratic Party up, because they spent way too many resources going after Trump, which it failed. Jamaica with the $2 donation, he said, yo, you were right. Owning a Tesla hits different. Yeah, dude.
foreign leader that you plan to meet or who
Shout out to Animal Channel. He said, love from Israel. Shout out to you.
will call tomorrow in your first day?
I've already been meeting people. I've been meeting them. I've been talking to them. I met with Prime Minister Trudeau, like all Governor Trudeau. I met with numerous foreign leaders. Go ahead.
Sir, what might be your first
This next order relates to the
And then what he's going to do, he's going to get into talking about the whole TikTok thing, right? And he's going to give you a lot of insight on what is really the deal of what's going to be going down with TikTok. And it's nothing that people thought would happen. Some people thought it was going to happen, but he's going to tell you like what's up with TikTok in a little bit.
definition of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment of the United States.
That's a good one. Birthright. That's a big one.
This is the one right here, bro. Birthright. People coming into America, having babies, and thinking that's just a free pass to come into America. No other country does that. He's about to put a stop to it right now.
With Prime Minister Trudeau, like all Governor Trudeau.
First day on the job, he working. Like, Biden couldn't do this. Like, sit through all of that, freezing cold weather and all that. Then you got to sit down. You got a reporter talking to you while you signing executive orders. Like, managing two things at once. He's showing you, like, yo, I'm a boss. You know what I mean? I don't have to be super focused on one, like, particular thing. I can answer your questions. You can ask me hard questions. I can answer your questions, and then we can get to the executive orders.
I met with numerous foreign leaders. Go ahead.
Sir, what might be your first
This next order relates to the definition of birthright citizenship under the 14th Amendment of the United States.
That's a good one. Birthright. That's a big one.
What about that one in the court? That one is like,
Could be. We think we have good grounds, but you could be right. I mean, you'll find out. It's ridiculous. We're the only country in the world that does this with birthright, as you know. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. But, you know, we'll see. We have very good.
So this is an executive order to stop that, right? But I don't know, like, I think they have to, that still has to pass somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. Like, he put an executive order, so they're going to try to get to working on trying to get this done. But I think it still has to pass somewhere, you know, but he's getting serious about that. Like, no, you're not just about to come here, have babies, and think that that's your way to path to citizenship, and then you could just vote and, you know, overthrow our government doing stuff. Like, no, we're not doing that. We not doing that.
good ground.
Shout out to Jeff Scott.
Sir,
People have wanted to do this for decades.
Sir, this is a proclamation declaring a national emergency at the southern border of the United States.
That's a big one. A lot of big ones, huh? You know what that means, right?
President Trump, did President Biden leave you a letter?
He may have. Wait. Don't they leave it on the desk? I don't know. Oh,
What's in there?
thank you, Peter. It could have been years before we found this. Wow. Thank you.
Can you read that on the outside?
Maybe we should all read it together.
Let's read it.
Well, maybe I'll read it first and then make that
That
determination.
sounds great.
Peter, thank you very much. I may not have seen this for months.
Happy to help
So-
with the passing of the torch.
So Joe Biden like left him a letter. What does the letter say? Ha ha! I messed up the government. You got to try to fix it. Ha ha! Like what does that letter say?
I did. I left him one in the desk just like this.
What are you talking about?
Unification of our country.
Okay, so Tommy Sotomayor said it was Mama said it was just a few decades ago blacks were told to go back to Africa, so it's weird seeing y'all support people that do not even want y'all here. Wow. Do you really think that's the case? I'm reading that. You didn't super chat. I'm reading that. Do you really think that's the case? Let's be real. Let's be real. This is all of our country. African Americans helped build this country brick by brick. Let's not do that. All the racism thing. This is a good moment for like the American spirit. African Americans are supporting the Republican Party. Right? Republicans are showing a lot of African Americans a lot of, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's disgusting that people will even go that far and to do something like that. It's disgusting. Republicans are going all out to support African Americans. I've seen a lot of it. Even on this channel, I've seen a lot of it. What did we get? Like all the racist Republicans that they saying, right? We got like 40,000 subscribers in like, 3 months? And there's been a lot of support, a lot of people behind the scenes, big news network channels and stuff reaching out. So if you know, if these people were so racist, I don't think I would experience this level of support. The numbers have been going crazy. We got videos on here, 400-something thousand views, 200-something thousand, 300-something thousand views. Come on. Everything's not about racism. And black people, what you got to understand, I looked at my birth certificate. I examined it, right? Like I went real crazy, like examining my birth certificate. I seen the seal, everything, like really examining it. I didn't see anywhere on my birth certificate to where it said Democrat. The hood has lied to me. Thug life. The ghetto has lied. I was looking, I'm like, where's this Democrat on my birth certificate at? I ain't see it nowhere. I'm like, wait, I could decide what party I want to be? That's why you got people like standing up now, Soldier Boy. Like, bro, y'all ain't about to tell me what Trump put money in my pocket. Y'all not about to tell me what to do just to appease y'all? I'm getting bread. That's why Nelly is having an argument with the dude from the Ghetto Boys, Willie D, the dude that made a video about me, dissing me. Willie D from the Ghetto Boys, diss me, mad at me, right? Nelly arguing with him like, no, like if I'm supporting the president. I respect the office. I don't care how y'all feel. They asked me to perform. They reached out to me. I'm doing it. The Blackish said, we not racist. Money is always green. They reached out to even like a Snoop Dogg had to change of heart. And while dudes talking about racism, have you ever heard of the crime bill? I always want to throw that up because people don't. Have you heard of the crime bill? Do you know that Joe Biden was an avid supporter of the crime bill, the Democratic crime bill? You know what they did? They was locking us all up like left and right, crazy. So I don't think they really liked us all like that. Guess who ended up getting people out of jail? It was him. He signed the First Step Act to get people out. That didn't look like somebody that want everybody to go back to Africa. It didn't look like that to me. It looks like this is a president that's looking at a problem that he's trying to fix. Thug life. Shout out to Trump.
You know, I didn't know that he gave a pardon to his family because he did it during my speech.
And corrupt Joe Biden gave a pardon to his family, and he did it while he was doing his speech. Did you hear what he just said? Are you advocating for a Joe Biden that pardoned Hunter Biden? Hunter should be in jail. Did you see the laptop material? He pardoned Dr. Fauci hours before he took office. Do you know who Dr. Fauci is? Why did he pardon him? You don't remember you was forced to get the jab and all of that? You don't remember that? That's who you was advocating? That's what you want to advocate for? When they took a whole year away from everybody's life? Put in a position where you had to like get jabbed or lose your job? Biden is corrupt. I don't care. He laughs in your face and takes things away from you. When y'all just complaining about TikTok? I'm taking, like, we reacted to videos. Hold on, I'm digressing. I don't know. I'm tired of it. My birth certificate doesn't say Democrat. I can speak my mind. Wait a minute. Kamala Harris talking about social media needs to have government control, regulation. Y'all don't remember that? Hillary Clinton saying that. John Kerry saying that. We reacted to plenty of videos that like they was against free speech. Who unlocked or made it to where TikTok can run? Him. Thug life. That was Joe Biden's final forget you. That and pardoning Dr. Fauci, which Robert Kennedy exposed.
He didn't tell you to handle them.
No, he didn't tell me. No. He did it. They released it during my speech.
Trump's best friend is from Africa. Thug life. South Africa, but it's still Africa. His wife ain't even white. What you mean he racist? JD Vance, did you see his wife? Chill out.
I mean, during my speech. So all I could do was say, excuse me, I'd like to come back and speak some more. So now we were surprised by that.
And y'all mad that he's signing executive orders where people can't come here and just have babies and be Americans. Like that, it ain't working like that. He cleaning this place up.
President,
It's bad precedent, obviously.
where are you thinking on tariffs on Mexico given these actions you're signing on the border?
Well, we're thinking in terms of 25% on Mexico and Canada because they're allowing vast numbers of people. Canada's a very bad abuser also. Vast numbers of people to come in and fentanyl to come in.
When do you think you would enact?
Yeah, he's got a concern from fentanyl coming into America, right? Kamala Harris, like, what did that when she sat down with I can't remember 60 Minutes. And the guy said, we cover the border and the number of people coming over the border have quadrupled. And she's like, oh, well, we cut the amount of fentanyl coming into the United States by half. But by the numbers, if it's quadrupled, the people coming over here, which means probably the amount of that coming in here has quadrupled too, it's still doubled, lady. Like, they are running this country into the ground, or they were. He's trying to fix it, or we're not going to have a country.
I think February 1st.
Are you planning on giving notice of that?
I think we'll do it February 1st.
25% on both, sir.
Sir,
On each.
On each, yeah.
this is an executive order taking a large number of executive actions to secure our southern border.
Okay?
And I can't wait to read these executive actions to secure the border. I can't wait.
Sounds reasonable.
Sign it!
President Trump, we remember 4 years ago, Barack Obama had told you that the top threat to the country was going to be North Korea. Did Joe Biden tell you what he thinks the top threat to the country is?
No.
right now?
No.
Hold on, let's rewind that. I couldn't understand what dude was saying. It's one of the best days ever in America right now. This is a real remember when people would say, oh, John F. Kennedy would have been a real president, one of the last. This is a real president. You get to live through this. Years down the road, oh, Lord. Like what he just went through, they weaponized, they had the whole government coming after this dude. And he still became president. You have never seen nothing like this. Thug life. I voted for the fella. It is what it is. And he did it all to help y'all. And his family, he not about to leave his grandkids, like, and they messing up the country. He can retire and be done with all of this. He's a billionaire, dog. I'm not about to leave my grandkids like this. I'm fixing this country.
President Trump, we remember 4 years ago, Barack Obama had told you that the top threat to the country was going to be North Korea. Did Joe Biden tell you what he thinks the top threat to the country is?
No.
right now?
No.
Why not?
I think we have a lot of them. Right now, I think we have a lot. I think North Korea turned out to be good. I was very friendly with him.
Yeah, he had a really good relationship with Kim Jong-un. Yo, North Korea, I just did some research about them like earlier today. You know, like if you want to, because I was thinking about like maybe y'all gonna be like, yo, this dude crazy. I was thinking about going to North Korea. It's like you got to go to China first, and then it's like $2,500. It's like for 7 days, but you can't like. What they do is they have like tour guides. Like you can't just go off on your own. Like you go with the tour guides and they take you through like different parts of like North Korea. I don't think you go through like Pyongyang or whatever it's called, but just to see like their way of life. But some of it is artificial because, you know, they don't really want you to see what people really live like in North Korea. You know, it's like it's kind of interesting like learning about it because it's one of the most like secluded countries ever, because like even the citizens are not even allowed to, like they say, not even allowed to look at you, you know. So I kind of wanted to see like what is the deal with North Korea. But Trump had a really good relationship with Kim Jong-un, and Kim Jong respected him. Trump told him like, yeah, we understand you got a red button, but I got a red button too, and it works. Kim Jong-un chilled out. He was like, why don't you just go on one of these lovely beaches you got? You know what I mean? Yeah, I did a lot of research about North Korea earlier. You know what I mean? And, you know, I found out that they had a pact with Russia. So, like, it's very hard to escape North Korea if you are, like, you know, like a citizen there and you're trying to get out. Because it's only like a couple of different places that you can go. You know, and then one of them is South Korea. If you can escape to South Korea, you're automatically a citizen of South Korea. But if you go to, like, Russia will turn you around and send you back and you'll get executed for treason. So, you know, North Korea is like, it's an interesting place. Interesting place.
Like me, I liked him. We got along very well. They thought that was a tremendous threat. Now he is a nuclear power, but we get along. I think he'll be happy to see him coming back.
And
I think he has tremendous condo capability. He's got a lot of shoreline.
So one of the things with Kim Jong-un, like throughout the years, you know, like the Obama administration, like all these different administrations, right? The Clinton administration, a lot, like they have been demonized. And I do feel like they've got some of the worst in terms of like how they treat people, like big issues with that. But like, so they've been demonized, you know, through the United States. So they've learned that we've been like the enemy. So by him even saying nice things about Kim Jong-un, you know, Kim Jong is like young in comparison to a lot of people that have ruled North Korea. You know, I think the only reason he got in, I think his father ended up dying like abruptly and Kim Jong-un got in. But yeah, but you know, him probably hearing like Trump speaking about him favorably is probably going to make him be a little bit more relaxed. You know, Trump is back. So we'll see.
Thank you, sir.
Are you going to work with countries from South America to coordinate on immigration?
About who?
Or immigration in general?
This is an executive order. Sorry, sir.
I'm fine with legal immigration. I like it. We need people. And I'm absolutely fine with it.
So he said he is for like immigration, like legal immigration. We need more people. I like that he said that.
We want to have it. We need it because we're going to have a lot of companies coming in to avoid tariffs. You know, if you don't want tariffs, all you have to do is build your plant in the U.S. So we're going to have a lot of workers coming in. But we have to have legal immigration.
Do you have a date in mind for when you want to put it on the China tariff?
And people are going to be willing to come here like legally, like and work those jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the job's still probably going to pay like low wages or whatever. But people are going to be so excited and to come into the United States, they can come in here legally. If they do it the right way, they'll end up working them jobs. You know, and he's right. The companies aren't going to want to sit there and be involved like in Mexico, right? And then the Mexican government's not abiding by what America wants. So tariffs are being raised. They're going to have to raise the price of their, you know, like the goods and services. But then the free market kicks in, right? If you see a car is super expensive and it's not worth it, or just buy a different car from a company that don't have to deal with that, right? So it's just supply and demand. So if you the company of the car, you know, manufacturer and plant or whatever, you're going to say, you know what, it may be more conducive to just build a plant in America. And avoid the tariffs, avoid all of this, and get our products sold. So I think it's a smart way of him doing things. Shout out to Trump, thug life.
Which one?
And it's putting pressure. We gonna get through this. And it's putting pressure on the government. It's like, yo, I'm in office. I'm taking these tariffs seriously. Like President McKinley, he did a lot of tariffs, right? That was successful. And he, you know, mentions President McKinley like a lot. You know, so a lot of presidents gonna be like, all right, this dude will like do tariffs. Like sanctions work to a degree, right? But he's trying to do something different. No, let's bring money back into the United States. We can sanction you with different things, you know what I mean? And impede business in different ways and stuff like that. We don't want to do that. We just gonna give you tariffs. Hit that pocket. You know what I mean? So, you know, I like how he handling things right now.
No. You're talking about which? Say it again.
The China tariffs, the broad
China?
tariffs.
Well, as you know, I put on large tariffs on China, and they've really been forced to leave them. And if we didn't leave them, you wouldn't have one steel mill that's open in this country because they were dumping massive amounts of steel. We've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars from China because they were unable to terminate the tariffs I put on China because it was too much money and the budgets didn't work and other reasons too. No, I mean, we're going to have meetings and calls with President Xi. I spoke to President Xi last week, as you know. Did you know that? I had a very good phone call.
Did you start with NATO this moment?
Hold on. Somebody tried to diss my Temu hoodie. I seen a Temu hate. Do you know Temu's paying me $800 a video just to wear a Temu hoodie? Did y'all know that? Like last year. Like, did y'all know that? So yes, I was rocking Temu heavy. You know what I'm saying? And I got to renew the contract. So yes, I don't care. I'm not about to wear Nike. I got to pay like $100 for a Nike hoodie and I ain't get paid for it. Temu. Save your money and get Temu. Shout out to Temu.
No, NATO has to pay more money.
And that's on top of whatever money I make on the video. Temu all day long, baby.
NATO has to pay 5%.
And people ask me like, yo, how do you got 2 Teslas? How do you do that? Bro, I got 2 Teslas. I own my house, all of that. Temu helped out a lot. Thug life. Why y'all broke with your Jordans on?
We are, we're in the Ukraine war by $200 billion more than NATO. It's ridiculous because it affects them a lot more. We have an ocean in between.
Yeah, if you're a content creator too, make sure your Instagram is linked to your YouTube channel. Reach out to a lot of these different this is for people who want to be content creators real quick before we get back into this. Reach out to the companies, they'll hit you up and you can negotiate your deals. They've got on Instagram, it's like a section for like sponsorships and stuff like that. And they'll end up messaging you back. So shout out to Temu. I will never diss Temu in my life.
And we've spent $200 billion more on Ukraine than NATO has spent.
Shout out to Random Blue Jays. It's a member on the channel. He said, yes, sir. Temu is the ish. I got some good quality, good undershirts. Yeah, bro, I shop cheap, bro. Like a lot of these rich people, like him, like he's like super rich, right? Bro, this dude be eating at Burger King, McDonald's. I don't be doing that. I spend my money like on food and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But he be like a lot of rich, like I stay like in Nashville, Tennessee, right? I'm in I'm in a pretty decent area. A lot of people, they don't be buying, like black people are like big consumers of things that make them go broke. You know what I mean? So like, no, I don't I just watch what they do. Like I messed up a little bit, you know what I mean? I got Teslas and motorcycles and stuff like that. They be like driving like Toyota Camrys. They keep their money.
And they've got to equalize.
Did you talk to Xi about the Ukraine war?
Yeah.
Because China and Brazil together has a proposal to bring Russia and Ukraine to talk.
That's good. I'm ready.
When are you going
That's
to talk
good.
with the Brazilian
How did
president?
Brazil get involved?
Brazil's
This
involved.
is a new one.
She must be from Brazil, that accent.
When are you going to talk to Lula?
Are you from Brazil?
From Brazil.
Ah,
When are you
that's
talking?
why they're involved.
When are you going to talk with the Brazilian president? How do you see our relationship with Latin America and Brazil?
Great, should be great. They need us much more than we need them. We don't need them, they need us. Everybody needs us.
I love how he just said that, bro. That is a fact. That's a fact. Even NATO, like all the money that we spend way more money than any other country. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people need us, bro. Like, nah, bro, y'all not about to be playing America like that. Like, say it like it is. These countries need us way more than we need them.
It sounds like you will not proceed with additional China tariffs necessarily, depending on how talks go with President Xi. Is that correct?
What does that, define that?
Well, you're asking, you pledged in the campaign potentially 10% tariff on China or as much?
Because of fentanyl.
Right, so I'm asking where you're.
That's only because of fentanyl, there are other things too.
Are additional.
And a
China
very
tariffs-
big thing is the Panama Canal. China controls the Panama Canal. What's that all about? They're not supposed to be good. When Jimmy Carter gave
Yo, why does China control the Panama Canal? Like, what? That's low-key crazy. Y'all ever thought about that?
it, which was a terrible mistake, he didn't do it. He didn't give it to China. He gave it to Panama. And China controls the Panama Canal.
So are China tariffs?
And we're not going to allow that to happen.
Are they still on the table or is that?
We're not going to allow that to happen.
I like that.
Thank you, sir.
And I also like he's changing the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. Like, why are we calling like stuff different countries? Like, what is we doing? Bro, it's a common sense president right here.
What can we expect of the countries in NATO that spend the least amount of money, like Spain, France, below the 5%?
Spain is very low. And yet, are they a BRICS nation?
What?
They're a BRICS nation, Spain.
How is
You know
that?
what a BRICS nation is? You'll figure it out. But, and if the BRICS nations want to do that, that's okay, but we're going to put at least a 100% tariff on the business they do with the United States. You know what the BRICS is, right? You guys know.
Brazil,
You know what I'm
Russia.
saying, right?
100% tariff is crazy, yo! What? That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
But Spain is not
This
in
is
the
a-
BRICS.
So
This-
it's not even a threat. In fact, since I made that statement, Biden said, well, they have us over a barrel. I said, no, we have them over a barrel. And there's no way they're going to be able to do that.
This is an
So they are
executive order
risking
relating
100%
to.
tariffs, those countries, like Spain.
As a BRICS nation, yes.
But how
They'll have
does
a
that
100% tariff if they so much as even think about doing what they thought.
Can you explain how?
And therefore, we have them over immediately. So will China give it up.
So this is about reforming the system of hiring in federal government to ensure that merit is the lodestar of hiring
Oh,
decisions
as per
opposed
the Supreme
to
Court.
other matters. Yes, sir.
Here's a big deal, merit. Our country's going to be based on merit again. Can you believe it?
Mr. President, you would say we can end the Russia-Ukraine war.
So it's not going to be based off of gender and all of that. It's going to be based off of merit-based country.
Where do things stand right now, and how do you think that?
Well, this is only half a day. I have another half a day left. We'll see. We want to get it done,
This is an order creating and implementing the Department of Governmental Efficiency, known as DOGE.
okay? That's a big
Oh,
one.
he's signing into the law. All right, thug life. So this is Doge. Elon Musk and Vivek, the Department of Government Efficiency, fired. So they're going to go through the FBI. They're going to go through like all the different branches of government and everything that's Department of Education, all of that. And they're going to see what is needed, what is necessary, and what is not necessary. What has been working, what has not been working, and start shutting down a lot of these different departments within these agencies. I like that. I like that. Sign that paper.
Is Elon Musk going to get a West Wing office?
No, he's getting an office for about 20 people that we're hiring to make sure that these get implemented. We have a problem in this country. He's on an executive order. It doesn't get done for 6 months. As an example, when we
Ooh, you hear what he said? So he said, like, signing an executive order, it doesn't get done for 6 months. Wow. So, like, you know, that's a problem, like, within the country. Like, when you sign something, it should be getting done, but it takes 6 months to get something done. Wow.
Department of Governmental Efficiency, known as DOGE.
okay, that's a big one.
Is Elon Musk going to get a West Wing office?
No, he's getting an office for about 20 people that we're hiring to make sure that these get implemented. We have a problem in this country. He's on an executive order. It doesn't get done for 6 months. As an example, when
Wow.
we allow the J6 hostages to go out, it might not be approved under the old days for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 6 months. You know, they had a good ruling from the Supreme Court, and it's like nothing happened. That ruling was 6 months ago, you know that. And it was like they didn't have a ruling. They've been treated very unfair. The judges have.
So wait a minute. So we talking about mental, like, you know what I mean? Like physical fitness, right? Cognitive ability. Do you see all of the things that he's able to rattle off? The Supreme Court just did this. They just announced this, and this is going on in this country, and you know, Spain, and that's the BRIC nation. You know what the BRIC nation is? All of this, like, bruh, yeah, like, bruh, talking about Biden could never. Biden could never. He just came off of like 2 to 3 different speeches. And he's doing this while answering questions from the press. These are not a lot of easy questions. Biden could never.
Been absolutely brutal. The prosecutors have been brutal. Nobody's ever treated people in this country like that.
Mr. President,
Shout out to Greg
are you
Wilson.
changing the sentences of anyone who assaulted a police officer on January 6th?
See, she said, are you commuting the sentences of anybody that has assaulted a police officer on January 6th? Like, he's not being asked, like, you know what I mean? Like leading easy questions. He's signing executive orders, talking, giving you a little bit of education behind things, and he's answering these hard questions. I bet not hear y'all say nothing about his mental fitness. Because I'm tired, and I just walked from the house to over here in my other house. Yo.
Well, we're looking at two police officers, actually, that Washington police officers who went after an illegal, and things happened and they ended up putting them in jail.
Ooh. So he said we're looking at some Washington police officers that ended up trying to do something to intervene, and something happened with an illegal, and he ended up getting like put in jail. So he's looking at a commutation over something like that. Okay. All right.
They got 5-year jail sentences. You know the case. And we're looking at that in order to give them we got to give them a break.
But it's the clemency in your actions today for anyone.
Well, it would be a
who's
part.
assaulted.
That would be a part. The one I'm talking about would be a part of it.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so he's thinking about going ahead and pardoning them. Interesting.
Should there be punishment for the people who assaulted law enforcement officers that day?
Well, I will say this. They've been in jail for a long time already.
Greg Wilson with the $9.99. Shout out to you. He said, bro, Trump is 150 IQ. He was like, he would take when he was running against Kamala Harris, he was saying like, okay, let's let her take an IQ test. Let's see who's really smart. She didn't want to do it. Now, you think he's like rich for no reason? Like, you know, when you have companies and stuff, some companies are not going to do well. This dude was able to amass, what is he worth, like 6.5 billion or something crazy like that? Like, come on, man. This dude is smart. And was able to become the president of the United States once. Shows you, like, you can do anything in America. Then had a whole Democratic regime come in here and weaponize the DOJ against him. He's spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars on lawyers. And he becomes the president anyway, even though he becomes a felon. Bruh. Biden would have broke.
I see murderers in this country get 2 years, 1 year, and maybe no time. So they've already been in jail for a long time. These people have been destroyed. What they've done to these people is outrageous. There's rarely been anything like it in history, in the history of our country. And even people that were aggressive, and in many cases, I believe they happen to be outside agitators, but, you know, what do I know, right?
Antifa.
But I think they were outside agitators. There were outside agitators involved. And obviously the FBI was involved.
He just said it. He just said it. Doug, like, here's one of the most transparent presidents. He's saying this in front of you.
Because...
And he's going to end up, he'd already said it, like he's going to release the Martin Luther King assassination documentation to the public, the John F. Kennedy assassination information. He's going to submit that to the public. He just said that like recently. So like, bro, this is crazy. I've never seen nothing like this ever. I've never read about a president like this ever in school, like that's doing all of this. This is nuts. Shout out to Trump.
Ray admitted the FBI was involved. Didn't he say 23 people indirectly or directly were involved, and it was in 26? That's a lot of people. No, we have...
And shout out to everybody subscribed. We just got 300 subscribers. Shout out to y'all.
Take care. These people have been treated so badly. It's never happened before. What happened in Seattle where they took over a big portion of the city? What happened in Portland where they burn down the city every day and people die? Nothing happened to anybody. But they go after these people violently. I mean, they're still going after brand new people. They found somebody else with a picture. There's never been anything like this. And you know, it's almost 100%. Think of this. Almost 100% of the people are convicted. 100%. It's Washington, D.C. People go into a trial and they say, oh, I have a wonderful lawyer and I didn't do...
You hear what he's saying? Like, he's defending the people from January 6th. First of all, like, they try to come at him saying that he incited this. He said, go to the Capitol and make your voices be peacefully and like, make your voices heard peacefully and patriotically. That is what he said. He never told them to go and tear up or nothing like that. They have video, right, of people opening the doors and people going in from January 6th. So, but they want to paint it, the liberals, as that people were just coming in through the windows and like they had to open the doors. So he's sitting back seeing how all of these people have been treated, how the judges have treated all of these people, and the people that got lawyers, and you figure like, oh, I didn't even really do nothing like too crazy, like it ain't that big of a deal. And the judges are being like heavy-handed and just cracking down on them, destroying their lives. And he's talking about them right now.
Do anything wrong, and they end up in shackles almost immediately and jail. No, we're not gonna let it happen.
About green, I have some interest in buying it, but is there any other option that will satisfy
About what?
Greenland instead of buying it?
Finland?
Greenland.
Well, Greenland. Greenland is a wonderful place. We need it for international security. And I'm sure that Denmark will.
But I'm gonna be real. Some of them people on January 6th was kind of wild. Some of them was, not all of them. Some of them was wilding. Because I was like, yo, we reacted to one of the videos. I'm like, you kind of. People was mad, bro. But you got to understand this. And me, this is me being all the way real. A lot of us people out here, like, believe this is the third election he's won. A lot of people believe that he won. Obviously, he became president. They believe he won the Joe Biden, him versus Joe Biden. A lot of people think he won that. The people in Nevada was livid. You seen like the highway, like it's like, how did some of these states get counted so fast? You know what I mean? Like it was like a lot. And then they wouldn't let what was the dude, Rudy Giuliani, they wouldn't let his people like go and watch them count the ballots, and like they was wild. Like I've never seen nothing like that before. I'm not saying he won that election. I'm saying it's a lot of people that feel like he did. Like, so he won 3 times because it was so close. You can manipulate things. Like, look how dirty that like the Democrats was, bro. Like during their regime. Like, look at all the stuff that they did. You don't think they had anything to do with it? I'm not saying that they did. I'm just saying think outside of the box. You don't think they had anything to do with something like that? They had to make this election too big to fail. That's why he was going on TikTok. He went on Joe Rogan. He went on like all of these different podcasts, reaching out to whoever. Like getting a young vote, the Aiden Ross, like, you know, fan base, all like he hit the ground running. He had to make it too big to fail so they could not mess this up. And I even went crazy. Vote for Trump, thug life. We went crazy. We had thousands of people talking about, oh, we voting for Trump. I did my part. Because they came after freedom of speech. And he was going to save it. You know what I mean? And then Maxim with the $4.99, he said, show us one. I'm doing this right now. I'm doing this right now. Chill out.
Will come along. I think, you know, it's costing them
Somebody
a lot of
said
money
we
to maintain
crazy.
it, to keep it.
We went we had to. Like, what did y'all want? Bro, we reacting to videos. Kamala Harris talking about the government oversight over social media. We got Hillary Clinton talking about government oversight over social media. Like, we got John Kerry, we reacting to videos. He doing like seminars talking about social media is a problem. Like, it's like, come on, bro. After a while, it's like, and then he's talking about all of y'all social media companies that are trying to suppress free speech. I'm coming after y'all when I become president. Now you got Mark Zuckerberg getting in line. Now he getting in line like, oh, well, Donald Trump want to work with me. And then he goes on the what's the dude with the biggest podcast? Joe Rogan. Mark Zuckerberg goes on Joe Rogan and airs out the American government. He owns some Edward Snowden stuff, basically saying they was on my phone, like getting on to me about removing memes, removing posts that wasn't even violating anything. I had to remove them. Because y'all got to remember, Mark Zuckerberg, they pulled him up in front of a committee for what, like days, wasn't it? And he had to like defend like his company. He don't want to do that again. And you got all these companies see what they just did to TikTok. You think they want to like play around with the government, Biden administration? Nah. They was like censoring people. And he said, if I catch y'all doing that when I'm president, y'all gonna have a problem. When I heard him say that, Trump, Doug, life, we went crazy. I don't care. I was like, I'll lose everything. He gotta win. Y'all know how many people I had calling me, yo, Piper Boy Wins, what is you doing? Why you keep talking about Trump? Because he gotta get in there. You gonna lose your title. I don't care about this title. I'll make another one. He gotta win. We did it. We all helped. You know what I'm saying? A little, you know what I'm saying? 1,000 here, 1,000 here. A lot of people helped. He had to win. And now they're trying to loosen restrictions on censoring shit because of him.
The
Doug
people of
Life.
Greenland are not happy with Denmark, you know. I think they're happy with us. We had representatives, my son had representatives, went up there 2 weeks ago, and they like us. So we'll see what happens. But Greenland.
No, but it was shout out to DJ Academics, bro. Like, cause he posted me before and all that. I got love for DJ Academics. Y'all can get mad. Shout out to DJ Academics. But DJ Academics was and I talked to Math Halfa for like an hour and a half, right? Or an hour. Math Halfa, he got my expert opinion. We talked about a lot of, like, it was known, like, if you did any type of anything, like on election day, lay low. I didn't care. I'm like, y'all get out the vote. You know what I'm saying? And then y'all already know what happened. I hit YouTube. I'm like, my bad. They was like, you ain't do nothing wrong. You good. You know what I'm saying? So they helped your boy out. You know, but it's what it is, bro. I didn't care. Like, he had to win, bro. Let me show you what some of these Democrats are saying, bro. Hold on, before we get back to him.
Platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm.
So what do y'all think about that? We lose total control. It's not just social, like it's psychological. We lose, like, this lady wants us to get rid of social media. Like they want a government oversight of social media. That ain't a problem, but we got videos of Kamala Harris and all of that saying that on Twitter.
If the platforms, whether it's Facebook or Twitter X or Instagram or TikTok, whatever they are, if they don't moderate and monitor the content, we lose total control. And it's not just the social and psychological effects, it's real harm.
Y'all want them to win? People like that? Y'all want them in charge? How many more times do we got to see something like that? For y'all get the picture. What y'all just crying about TikTok? Oh, they brought TikTok down. Oh my God, TikTok. Why they come after TikTok? They try to, like, y'all, like, what? Then he helps get TikTok back up. And then they want to, oh, well, Trump, this and that, and we not thanking him. Like, what? Are y'all serious? TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. Eve, shout out to Eve, is a member on the channel, said only moderate for horrible stuff like pedal and etc. Yeah, like something super crazy, like moderate that, get rid of that.
It's necessary, not for us, it's necessary for international security. You have Russian boats all over the place, you have China boats all over the place, warships. And they can't maintain it.
Do you plan to meet President Putin, sir?
Who?
Do you plan to meet President Putin, sir?
I'll be meeting with President Putin.
When do you plan?
I don't know, I can't speak to
What
that.
your first trip for a trip like this?
So the first foreign trip typically has been with UK. But I did it with Saudi Arabia last time because they agreed to buy.
Hold on, here's a January 6th video right here. Let's see if I can pull one up. Hold on.
$450 billion worth of our product. I said, I'll do it, but you have to buy American product, and they agreed to do that. They bought $450 billion.
Like, no, I'm not buying your stuff, Elon Musk, bro. No, go away, bro. Let me show you a January 6th video real quick.
A bit of video you haven't seen. And that video tells a very different story about
Why y'all always got to be playing music like in y'all video? Come on, man. Like when they do that, you got to talk. Let me let a couple seconds go before we go into this January. It said Democrats and media withheld this video for almost 3 years. These were not insurrectionists. These were sightseers.
what happened on January 6th. More than 40,000 hours of surveillance footage from...
Come on, y'all trying to... that music. Oh, man. They trying to hit your boy with copyright. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Some Miss Minnie said, yeah, because she won't carry you out of the fire because you put yourself there.
From in and around the Capitol have been withheld from the public. And once you see the video, you'll understand why.
Just go to my Twitter. Go to my Twitter. It's on there. Hold on. Let me make sure let me undo this and then retweet it and just go to my Twitter. It's on there. It's just music. This video got like 108,000 views. I'm not about to like lose my monetization to play this one little video. Just go to my Twitter. It's Piperboy Williams and you can see the video on there.
It was the least reported story I've ever been involved in.
And now, where are you planning to go now?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on. We about to get back to it. Ryan Kofi said, hold on. Somebody said, no, Solar Joe Soul Rock said, these fools are mad because the economy is going to get better. Yo, last year was the year I found out people do not like people that help them. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make people's life, the quickest way to make a Democrat mad is like, oh, we want to help you make it easier for you to get a job. Get a job! Yeah, like, get a job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get a job. We're going to try to make sure, like, companies, you know what I'm saying, are being fair. Like, what you mean work? Yeah, so you can earn money and everything like that. And I want to, like, make sure, like, what you mean? What you mean them checks about to stop? Like, ma'am, I'm trying to help. Like, don't you want to work? Like, don't you want to get out there and try to, like, get a career so you know what I'm saying? Just sit around getting diabetes and everything. Like, do you want to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, have a chance, try to buy a house and like, what? I'm on Section 8. I don't need no house. I'm on Section 8. But don't you want to make some money so you can, you know what I'm saying? Taxes and everything. Y'all giving me my earned income tax credit at the end of the year. I don't want to work. I want to have these 10 kids and get all this tax money from all y'all working so I can give Lamont some brand new rims for his car. Work. Who want to do that? Be them Democrats out there. What you trying to give me, Trump? What you trying to give me?
If Saudi Arabia wanted to buy another 450 or 500, we'll up it for all the inflation.
Mr. President, you say you were going
think
to
I
end
probably
the
got
war's first day. How do you plan to end the Ukraine war?
Well, we're going to try and get it done as quickly as possible.
Do you want to push Israel and Saudi
It should have
Arabia?
never started. You know, the war with Ukraine and Russia should have never started. It would have never
Yeah,
started.
he's right. He said, you know, the war with Ukraine and Russia should have never started. It would not have started if I was president.
If I were president.
Will you push Israel and Saudi Arabia to normalize relations?
I don't think I have to push him. I think it's going to happen, but maybe not quite yet. But they'll end up being in the Accords, the Abraham Accords.
President Trump,
I think Saudi Arabia will end up being in the Abraham Accords.
This year?
Could be, but soon. Not a very long way. Oh, look at that! It says TikTok. My! What is that?
Oh, he about to talk about TikTok. Whoa, wait a minute.
First, we have Alaska, sir. This is an executive order relating to unleashing Alaska's potential as an energy reservoir for the entire nation.
And what about Anwar?
I believe that would be included in aspects of the
So
order.
we're opening up Anwar.
So
on the
Mayor,
TikTok piece,
What's up,
President
Latanya?
Trump, you and your members of your team now used to warn about the
He's
dangers
talking about opening up Anwar.
of TikTok spying on Americans. What changed that you're not worried about that anymore?
Well, it depends on the deal. I mean, I may not do the deal, or I may do the deal. TikTok is worthless if I don't approve it. It has to close. I learned that from the people that own it. If I don't do the deal, it's worthless, worth nothing. If I do the deal, it's worth maybe $1 trillion, $1 trillion. So if I do the deal I'm talking.
Yo, so if he doesn't do the deal, TikTok is worthless. It's not worth anything. And that's why they're breaking their necks to be around Donald Trump right now, to get TikTok back, like, to where it's just good and they don't have to force a sale or whatever. You know, because it's banned right now, right? And so he was like, if I do the deal, it's worth something. What y'all think? Do y'all think the government should be getting a little bit of money from TikTok? What you think about that? Or should the Chinese government just have an American company getting all of our data, a company in America getting all of our data, and they get 100% of the money? What do y'all think? And it's going to take the government to end up saying it's okay for them to run. What do y'all think about that? Because he about to say something kind of controversial. He's going to say, I think the government should own 50% of TikTok. What do y'all think about that?
About doing
that's like $500 million.
For the United States. If I do the deal for the United States, then I think we should get half. In other words, I think the U.S. should be entitled to get half of TikTok. And congratulations, TikTok as a good partner. And that would be worth, could be $500 billion or something. It's crazy. The numbers are crazy. But it's worthless if the president doesn't sign, then it's worthless. If the president does sign, it's worth maybe $1 trillion. So I think, like a joint venture, I think we would have a joint venture with the people from TikTok. We'll see what happens. I mean, that's one of many ideas I've had.
He says one of many ideas that he has. So he's not saying that that's definitely what he's going to do. It's one of many ideas that he has. And if they can get some money off of TikTok, I mean, that's less that the government's going to try to come after you for money. You know what I mean? But the flip side of that, people are going to be like, oh, well, the government has some sort of like control or power like over TikTok. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, yo, that's not good. But then you got the Chinese government having control over TikTok constantly. Like, this is what TikTok does, right? And this is me being all the way real 100%. I don't really care about TikTok. I didn't care about them shutting down all of that, right? I don't like that the Biden administration like went in there and did that. But because people try to blame Trump, saying Trump is the reason why TikTok got shut down. No, he's not. Like Trump, like in the beginning, Trump he was thinking that they were giving our enemies our data, right? And so when he found out that the servers for TikTok were in Texas and that they were in on American soil, he didn't go through with trying to get rid of TikTok. Like, he let it go, right? It was Biden administration that came in that got rid of TikTok. So a lot of people want to blame him. He's actually the one that actually allowed TikTok to function. But now that the Biden administration have put them in this situation, he's like, yo, if you want me to like help you, exactly. Paul Warner said exactly. Shay said exactly. Yeah, because I read up on that. A lot of people, like anti-Republicans are going to say that, right? They're going to say anything to try to blame him for whatever, the TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, right? But that's really what it was. And you got to understand like where we were like at the time. Like, for him to say that, like, a lot of Americans was like, yeah, like, if they going ahead and mining and selling our information to, bro, this is what TikTok does, right? And before, not to digress with my original point, this is what they do. When you are on another app, you will start seeing stuff you look for on that app pop up on your TikTok. They are going through your phone, even though you're not giving them permission to track you. When you tell them that you do not want your contacts like uploaded onto the TikTok, right? Next thing you know, you start seeing people that you work with popping up on your TikTok, people that you might know pop up every once in a while. It's like, bro, I just told you I don't want my contacts and nobody on TikTok don't care. They still mining your data. I feel like CapCut is like mining data too. Like, you know what I'm saying? But, they still do it. Not only do they do that, what they do, and this is me being all the way real, thug life, get mad, right? They push anti-America propaganda on the users. So I've got two different TikTok accounts. One, I had like obviously I'm Republican, so I had Republican stuff on one of them. The other one, I had Democrat stuff so I can gauge what was going on when we were talking about the election, right? And then I've got on my iPad, it's like my first TikTok. I barely ever use it. I kind of watch like people pranking people and all that. So I got like 3 different TikToks, right? Main one I use is the Republican TikTok. Bro, all of my TikToks, anti-America propaganda starts coming up. In America, you have to pay property taxes on your house? Oh my God, that is so terrible. Living in America, we got to deal with that. If I was in China, I wouldn't have to do that. I would only have to pay property taxes every 70 years. I have to pay a little bit of money in property taxes every 70 years. On the surface, that looks good, right? Try living in China and trying to get a job in China. You know why manufacturing is in China? Because they don't have to pay Chinese workers that much money. So yeah, they're not going to have a lot of taxes on their homes, and they're not going to have it's a communist country, dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, they ain't really making no money. You really think that China is better than America? Go ahead, go over there. Deal with that. Have at it. Have smog all in the air, like, you know what I'm saying? Factories being like put up every week, can't breathe, gotta wear masks everywhere. Go to China, yeah, have fun. And a nice high rise. We keeping it real over here, thug, like that anti-propaganda ain't working for me. And they would do stuff like that over and over again. Oh, in America, you got to work 40-hour work weeks. Don't nobody work 40-hour work weeks in America. America is terrible. They got Americans saying this on TikTok. Because what Americans do, and people in general, follow trends. And so the trend is to be anti-America. Guess why? Because the algorithm was pushing anti-America propaganda on you. You say anything like in favor of America, you ain't getting views. You start talking crazy about America, 500,000 views, 1 million likes, 2 million like crazy likes. Anti-America propaganda. Wait, y'all in a whole different, this is China coming to America, pushing anti-American propaganda and turning our citizens against America? That's how I'm looking at it. And people so addicted to scrolling, they don't even, bro, I see when they shut TikTok down, people like, I don't care if they want to mine my data. What are they mining? Me dancing? No, they taking all your data. Just like Siri was with Apple. Apple just settled like what was it, $90 billion they just settled out of court for like Siri is like listening to you when you turn it off. Oh, you think I'm lying? Let me show you this. Hold on. Oh. We're going to get back to him in a minute. Let me show y'all something.
It's over.
Hold on. Apple to pay $95 million. That's why I was like, why is Tim Cook even up there in an inauguration? Like, you selling like Apple to pay $95 million to settle Siri privacy lawsuit. So basically what that is, Siri, when you turn your, even when you put your phone in your pocket, Siri is listening to you. You ever heard somebody say that? And I used to think people was crazy who said this, right? You ever heard somebody tell you like, yo, I was just talking about this and it pops up on my Facebook. I was just talking about this and then the advertiser, bro, let me tell you something. I was at work and some person had like some On Cloud shoes. They call On Clouds the shoes, right? And I'm like, yo, what kind of shoes is them? They're like On Clouds. And I'm like, yo, I keep seeing people wearing those or whatever. Bro, and I was low-key like clowning the shoes like in my mind, right? I'm like, yo, like you got some On Cloud shoes. Bruh, do you know I start getting TikTok On Cloud, like all these different, like Instagram, like all these different showing me On Cloud shoes. I see them so much, I'm like, I might want them. So my girl asked me, she was like, for Christmas, what'd you want? I'm like, I want some On Cloud shoes. I got On Cloud shoes in my house. Because they be listening to me. That's how serious like the ad tracking is. And it's a violation of your of your privacy. If you turn your phone off and it's not in use, it should not be listening to you. Listen to me. It should not be listening to you. My Alexa is unplugged. So when people are talking about the George Orwell, the 1984 book, all of that, bruh, it's going down. And Apple just had to settle $95 million because they just did that to you. So if you start getting emails like, yo, class action lawsuit settlement, like for Apple and all of that, that's real. If you got an iPhone, that's real. They've been stealing your data. Just imagine what TikTok has been doing. So yeah, the government was like, they went to the Supreme Court. Hold on, we about to get back to this, not to digress too much, right? They went to the Supreme Court, TikTok lawyers talking about freedom of speech. You ain't got no freedom of speech on TikTok. Wake up. You say one thing wrong, they remove your comment, community guidelines. They remove your audio from the video. They remove your video. That's one of the most serious, like, you know, censorship apps out there. They treating us like we in China, but you're so addicted to scrolling, you don't see it. You're willing to let them do it. It's crazy, bro. Greg Wilson said, but they are comfy. Greg, I know I was on TikTok earlier. I was like, yo, Greg, I woke up, bruh, and the first thing I do, I ain't gonna even lie, I check my numbers on YouTube. I check my other phone and entertainment to see if somebody's saying something that I might have to blog on, right? That, and then I go on TikTok. Bruh, Greg, I was on TikTok for like an hour, right? Like an hour had passed before I even got up. I'm like, this app needs to be banned. It needs to be banned right now. It took my whole hour off. So yeah, I look at TikTok a lot differently than a lot of people. They're data mining. They are. Now the algorithm I feel like is a little bit different now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I don't know, bro.
Did he say that he's open to that idea?
Who?
The CEO of TikTok is around.
Oh, I think he'd probably like it because he's got nothing. They really have nothing. It's passed in Congress. It gives the president a right to make a deal or to close it. And we have 90 days to make that decision. But I could see making a deal where the U.S. gets 50% of TikTok, polices it a little bit or a lot, depends on them. But remember, they make telephones in China. They make all sorts of things.
Now the policing it part, right? It's like, what do you mean by policing it? What do you mean by that? Do you mean like data? Making sure the data is not being like sent to the wrong places? You know what I mean? Is that what he means? Or does he mean tweaking it to be in favor of the government? You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing to kind of look at, right? Just being real.
Things in China, nobody ever complains about that. Here they're complaining.
Shout out to Greg Wilson.
About this. There's so many different products made in China, and nobody ever complained about it. The only one they complain about is TikTok. And TikTok is largely young people. I guess I have a warm spot for TikTok that I didn't have originally, but then I went on TikTok, and I won young people up by 36%, Peter. And
Evelyn Ivy said, I don't even have Alexa. Bro, sometimes my Alexa just be on. I'm like, why is you on, like, listening? Like, what is you doing? Like, I'll be, like, talking to y'all about something else. I don't even say the word Alexa, and she comes on, like, yo, like, these apps, I'm these phones, like, remember, like, back in the, hold on, not to, all right, this is the last time I'm going to digress about this situation, right? Unless somebody hit the super chat. You remember, like in the late 90s, right? Like, the early 2000s, people kept saying, like, yo, why are they they're putting cameras in TVs because they're watching us. So you would have people, right? They would take like a sticky note or they would take a piece of tape or whatever, and they would put it over the camera, like on their TV, right? And I still haven't found out why some TVs even have like cameras, right? You watching TV, they're watching you. That's what I look at. And I would always think, I'm like, yo, these people are tinfoil people. Like, why are they thinking like this? These are some tinfoil people, right? Now you just had Tesla was about to get sued because they found out employees were watching people drive their Teslas and laughing at them. You think I'm lying? Hold on, let me show you. Hold on. They were laughing at him. Tesla workers share sensitive information. Reuters put this out. Y'all respect Reuters? Reuters put this out. Tesla workers share sensitive images recorded by customers' cars, right? This is like you driving around all of this. Like, read it. Other images were more mundane, such as pictures of dogs and funny road signs, and employees made into memes by embellishing them with amusing captions or commentary. Like, they're just like taking, like, there's a camera. Like, I've got 2 Teslas, right? There's a camera. My phone is over there. Wait, where's my phone? Thug, like, where's my phone? All right, phone, where's you at? I don't know where it is, but it's camera. It's a camera looking right at you when you're driving. So when you use an autopilot, right, it kind of can monitor whether or not you paying attention. That's the camera that they was looking at. So, like, back to the 1984, or people thinking like TVs are watching them and all. Like, when they got a camera looking at you, don't think people are not taking advantage of those cameras. So that's all I want to say about that. So we don't know what TikTok is doing, but they want to go to the Supreme Court and argue like, oh, well, this is a violation of freedom of speech. Meanwhile, they will censor you over the smallest things on TikTok. That wasn't what the ban was about. It was about like them, you know, it's a you know, like a country, like, you know what I mean? We don't know if you giving our data away. It's what it was, you know, but really, Biden was really trying to censor TikTok is what it was. He was trying to censor everything, you know, but the oral arguments in the Supreme Court were wrong. You know what I mean? They shouldn't have argued in favor of freedom of speech. They should have argued, you know what I mean, that it's not a national security risk. If they would have done that, I think they would have had a better outcome in the Supreme Court. But the Supreme Court is a branch of government, right? It's a different branch of government. It's the Supreme Court of the land. You know, ultimately, don't get it confused. Just because we have a Supreme, bro, they made businesses people. We talking about the Supreme Court here. You know what I mean? Like they're not for you. Let's keep it real. You know what I mean? Like they will like do things to try to take things away from you. You know, it's like the old movie like V for Vendetta, right? Got Natalie Portman and all of that in there. V for Vendetta, the movie. I suggest everybody watch it. The government is to show you why you need them. They will take away and give you a little bit, take it away, give you a little bit more, take it away. You know what I'm saying? And then like they're slowly taking away things from you. It's a lot of freedoms, right? Watch the movie V for Vendetta.
Republicans typically don't do too well with young people, but it's a different Republican Party.
Would the U.S. government buy a portion of TikTok then, or how would it give that 50%?
No, you'd take 50% of TikTok for the approval that TikTok can continue in business. And they'd have a great partner. The U.S. would be their partner. But the U.S. essentially would be paid for doing that half of the value of TikTok.
Would there be a private sector owner as
Could
well?
be, yeah, could be a lot. Tell you what, every rich person has called me about TikTok.
You wanted to block TikTok. Why did you change your mind?
Because I got to use it. And remember, TikTok is largely about kids, young kids. If China's going to get information about young kids, I don't know. I think
Well, then that's another thing, right? Like how he just put it. Like if China is going to get information about our young kids, don't you want government to have some, like, all right, this is going to sound crazy, right? But do you want government to have some type of involvement to where they can see where the data is going? I don't trust the government at all, right? I believe in smaller government. That's why I'm conservative. But if these companies are getting all of this, bro, and then think about this, right? TikTok, when I told you earlier, they were pushing anti-America propaganda. They did a lot, and they're still doing it. Even though he just helped them out, they're still doing it, right? They're not getting on there like the CEO of TikTok, which I think he don't even have CEO in his like bio no more. He's not getting up there and doing it, but he's having you push anti-America propaganda. What they will do is like promote the anti-propaganda videos. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. So if you got kids, which kids should not be on TikTok at all. Like it used to be like you could let them, like now like adults have ruined TikTok. Right. And now, you know, adults are like pervy and stuff like that. Like they done made TikTok like all weird, you know, and then saying bad words and all that. You know, adults are just messed up. Right. So if you have a kid on, if you had a kid on TikTok, do you want like certain messages like them to start being against our country? Look at how crazy people are. Right. And this is somebody took a, you know what I mean, clipped his ear. Lost their mind and did that. You don't want like these apps like getting in your kid's mind, like changing their perspective on like the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like you don't want them to be like subservient to the country and all of that. You want people to be awake, you know what I mean, to a degree. But you don't want people to grow up like hating the country so much they do something crazy like that. You know, so you got to like kind of monitor certain things, like if you are a government, and this is just me being real about it. So I don't know, like it's how you think about it. They got the government got your data anyway. They got it. Everything you doing, like think they don't know. They know. They know what you look at. They know everything. This is the government. You're in the America. They know. Edward Snowden and already told you that they got all of your information. They watch everything you do. He said it. So they already know what you're doing, you know? So do you want, and they're still letting you do it. So do you want like China to just completely have free reign, or do you want the government to be able to be like, you know, where's this data going? It depends on how you look at it.
To be honest, I think we have bigger problems than that. But you know, when you take a look at telephones that are made in China and all the other things that are made in China, military equipment made in China, TikTok, I think TikTok is not their biggest problem. But there's big value in TikTok if it gets approved. If it doesn't get approved, there's no value. So if we create that value, why aren't we entitled to like half?
Yeah, exactly. If we can create that value for China, why are we not entitled to half? I don't know, bro. It kind of makes sense, though. If you want me to like sign something into law, like helping you, like, you know what I mean? Like, what are we going to get? Like, y'all ain't like, bro, y'all already like, bro, China, what's y'all going to do for us? Like, nah, like, give us the money. Give us like 50% of it. Like, I kind of get business wise. I hear what he's saying. I hear him out. You know what I mean? And that's crazy that Edward Snowden can't come back to America just for telling people everything that they're just now finding out within the past 3 years. He didn't risk his life. And everybody thought Edward Snowden was crazy. And now everybody's starting to figure out everything Edward Snowden said was right. And he still can't. He's still undercover. It's crazy, man.
Does Biden ever do news conference?
Greg Wilson with the 199. He said he wants what he understands. Hence, Barron and Kai. He wants what he understands. Hence, Barron and Kai.
Like this?
Hear what he said? He was like, "Yo, can Biden answer questions like this?" And mind you, he's signing executive orders answering hard questions and giving like lengthy answers off the cuff.
How many news conferences, Peter, has he done like this?
Like this?
None.
0.
And it would be 0 for the next infinity. For infinity, it would be 0.
Mr. President, when we plan to talk to
While he's talking to them, mind you, he'd already got rid of the birthright for foreign people coming in here and just having babies. Like, he's getting rid of that birthright thing. He's signed into this law, whatever, making cartels like foreign, like terrorist organizations, right? He's done that. Like, he's already signed bills like trying to shore up the border. Like, why he's talking. He's doing all of this, bro. In 47 minutes.
Help implement the executive orders. I think you mentioned the implementation in your previous answer.
Elon is very busy sending rocket ships up to various places with lots of satellites on them.
What is your reaction to the confirmation of Macron on what does it mean for Latin America?
Which one?
Marco Rubio tonight.
as Secretary
Marco
of State.
Rubio. You said Marco.
Marco Rubio.
Yeah, I think he's great. I think Marco's doing a fantastic job. I think he's going to get a lot of votes. I think he's going to be at 90% or something. I mean, I'm hearing very good. People know him. They know him in the Senate. They know he's good. He's doing a good job. I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know what's going to happen with that. He's got some very strong ideas, Marco.
You signed
Which one did you
TikTok
sign, Mr.
order.
President?
Did you sign the TikTok order?
Yeah.
Yes, that was just.
And he just signed the TikTok order.
Just signed it.
How many?
Still changing Venezuela, changing power. Are you still committed with Maduro leaving power in Venezuela?
Well, we're going to find out about that too, because we're going to probably stop buying oil from Venezuela.
And watch, he signed the TikTok order, and they're still, by all the liberals that was going in on Trump, saying all these negative things, they're going to figure out a way to like talk bad about him. And they have TikTok to where the creators can continue to make money, and they're going to be talking bad about him. Unreal. So you don't think like, I'm not for like a lot of government oversight. Like I said, I'm not trusting of any governments at all. I think governments for the most part are against the people in the sense to where they keep them in control. Right. So I'm not in favor, but bro, like he's doing TikTok a major solid right now. And these people about to go online and just trash him. Like, you know what I mean? And there's still, even like today, I've seen anti-America propaganda popping up, even today. And he's signing something like helping them. So like, take all of that into consideration. Yeah, if we make it to where you can like still operate, like we want half.
We don't need their oil.
But some people can think that's strong arm. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, it's like a form of it. Yo, but they're doing it to TikTok. They start with TikTok. They can do it to other companies. So it's like different ways you can look at it. You know what I mean? But I think he's doing them a major solid right now. That's just a regular, it's a company. TikTok is a company. He don't have to be doing, he's the president of the United States. Look how many companies are in America. He don't have to be doing nothing for them right now. He's doing this because of freedom of speech, even though they're about to go and talk crazy about him. He's signing so that they can still operate until they can figure out a resolution to this situation.
Another embargo like the first term?
Well, it could be, but we don't want to buy, we don't have to buy their oil. We have plenty of oil for ourselves. So.
Greg Wilson said, if they get the information, we should get the information hands down. Amy said, we can stop wars and poverty if we want. But then like I hear what you're saying. It's going to sound real messed up. In an economy, like a capitalistic society economy, you're going to have winners and you're going to have losers. That's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So that's the unfortunate byproduct, you know what I'm saying, of having an economy, that's capitalist.
President Trump.
That'll change Venezuela quite a bit.
President Trump, there was a lot of concerns on this during the campaign. The question that only works today. Are you a dictator on day one?
No.
Are you a dictator on day one?
I can't imagine even being called. No, I believe in the sanctity of the vote. The Democrats didn't because they cheated like dogs, but I believe in the sanctity.
And then that guy said, if you can monitor TikTok, then there is no need for another. That is why people make other social platforms anyway. And then Anonymous as a subscriber said, honestly, now I respect TikTok just works. What? And then Shay said, Trump had at least 500,000 people at watching him on YouTube Live, bro. Bro, he had like way more than that. You got to think of all of it was like millions of people watching him. Like if you look at all of the platforms, it was like probably like 10 million plus people watching him.
It was too big to rig. This last election was just too big to rig.
Mr. President, when do you think
really the opposite.
When do you plan to speak to President Putin?
Bro, and I do feel like California, a lot of people in California came out to support him. And he said something like earlier, I think it was, he was like, yeah, that's why I want to have a special committee or whatever, like go look through what was going on in California, because like a lot of, we got a lot of Republican votes out there. So we want to see if this was really did we get close to winning California? Like what was really going on? You know, so I'm interested to see that. Like, you know, he's doing a lot, bro. He's doing a lot.
Could be very soon.
And you talked a bit about Ukraine and Russia, but how long do you think it would take to end that conflict? And
I have to speak to President Putin. We're going to have to find out. He can't be thrilled. He's not doing so well. I mean, he's grinding it out, but most people thought that war would have been over in about 1 week. And now you're into 3 years, right?
And that's why he didn't want to engage in, you know what I mean, get involved in wars or anything. Like he understands, like a lot of people think like war is just going to be over in a week just because a country is big. So like even a small like country can give you a big problem. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of strategy and things that's involved in war. You know, like you talking to a dude that got rid of ISIS and, you know what I mean? Like all of that, like, you know, it's a lot involved. Like, so now Putin's entangled in a big war. He got to figure out a resolution to. He's losing like hundreds of thousands of Russian, like citizens. His economy is in turmoil right now. This is something that people aren't talking about. His interest rates is crazy. There's a war going on. The citizens are hurting. Like, there needs to be a resolution. So this is how a president should be thinking. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Shout out to him, bro.
So he can't be thrilled. It's not making him look very good. Now, eventually, you know, I mean, it's a big machine, so things will happen. But I think he'd be very well off to end that war. We have numbers that almost 1 million Russian soldiers have been killed. About 700,000 Ukrainian soldiers are killed. Russia's bigger. They have more soldiers to lose. But that's no way to run a country.
What did your TikTok order do, Mr. President?
Just gave me the right to sell it or close it. Essentially, with TikTok, I have the right to either sell it.
One thing I did notice, I know y'all noticed this too, he's got really good hearing. Because you got to think, like, we've got, you know what I mean? Like, we're listening to, like, these microphones and stuff like that. Like, for him to be able to hear, like, how they're talking, like, softly and pick up everything, he's got pretty good hearing. To be like all them, you know, flights and all that, all loud stuff like he's dealt with. He's older. Like, that's pretty good.
Or close it. And we'll make that determination. And we may have to get an approval from China too. I'm not sure. But I'm sure they'll approve it. And if they don't approve it, it would be somewhat of a hostile act, I think. But it's good for China if it gets approved.
You're not guaranteeing that TikTok will be around after 90 days.
No, but it could very well be. It makes sense for it to be. Because it's got tremendous value.
So imagine this, y'all. Imagine that you are like running a country, right? And it's America, for example. You're running a country. You are running a country, and a foreign entity comes in and puts an app in your country that is skewing the minds of Americans, making Americans think that China is better than America. What are you going to do? And they're taking your data, taking everybody's data. Like, what are you, like, realistically, what are you going to do? Look at China. Everybody want to move to China now. They think China is so great. You know how many apps is banned in China? A lot. Like, people got to use VPNs just to go online and, like, talk on certain apps in China. That's how restrictive they are in a communist country. So, I mean, he's still trying to give them, like, an out, like, yo, yeah, I mean, if the Chinese government, why you got to talk to the Chinese government? Why does the Chinese government got to approve? Why does the Chinese government want an app in America? Like, this is what people, like, thug life. I don't care what nobody think. Think about that. Have y'all thought about that? What did he just say? He was like, yo, we think about doing a deal or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's a deal that could be good for like both parties or whatever. But, you know, the deal's got to get approved. We don't know, like, what's all entailed. Maybe the government of China's got to approve it. Why does the government of China have to do anything? Why do they want an app in America, dog? Y'all ain't thinking about that? Yes, we're lucky to live in America. Bro, if we were in North Korea, we wouldn't have internet. If we was in China, like we'd be having to be on VPNs and all this. Greg Wilson with the $9.99. Shout out to you. He said, I've told my friends for a long time that it's why he had rallies, so that he could hear the crowd's reaction to his comments. That's how he won. He's a showman. Yeah. Yeah, like a lot of these countries, bro, like they would not allow like an American. China is not going to allow an American app to come into China and start skewing minds. Oh, in China, y'all got to pay taxes every 70 years. That's terrible. In America, I found out in America, like they get paid like $15, $25, $35 an hour, $40 an hour, certain jobs. And in the communist country in China that we live in, we only making a little bit. Like you think they want them people knowing stuff like that? That America, let's call it American talk, would be banned. But in America, they still the president is letting it rock until he can figure out a way. Yes, we are in the greatest country in the world in terms of a lot of freedoms. Some countries got a little bit more freedoms in certain things, like thug life. I've been to other countries, so I can't really say that America is, you know what I'm saying? Like, I went to Switzerland and, you know, Zurich, Switzerland, Italy, France, all of that. They got different type of freedoms. You know what I mean? But we got a powerful military, and they can weaponize the military against us at will, like whenever they feel like. They don't be doing that. Like, so I don't know, man. China TikTok app. Like, think about that. And then Dolphin with the $1.99, he said Trump signed a executive order to ban TikTok in August 2020. Bro, like, what? Didn't we just like go through that? We literally just talked about that because they were data mining. And then he found out that they thought that they were selling like America information to like enemies, right? And then he found out that the servers were actually located in Texas in the United States. And when he found that out, he didn't go through with getting rid of TikTok. Like, that's what happened. It was the Biden administration that got rid of TikTok. Like, how many times we got to say that? You probably on TikTok, watching TikTok, learning things from TikTok. That's the problem.
But if we create the value by approving,
I'm not.
You know, in other words,
I'm not dissing you, and I'm just saying, like, bro, because I've watched TikTok, bro. It's a lot of like misinformation.
Approval gives a tremendous value. If that's the case, then we should be entitled to 50% as a country. You haven't heard that one before, right? That's called a joint venture. And nobody ever...
Can we get 112,000 subscribers, please? What is y'all doing, bro? We got 171,000 views on this video. Y'all trying to play me? Subscribe to the channel.
That way. Well, I don't know. I think you have a lot of people that would be interested in TikTok with the United States as a partner.
Mr. President, what was it like walking into the Oval Office this evening?
Oh, what a great feeling. One of the better feelings I've ever had.
Do you like this town better now than in 2017?
Well, we're very experienced now. You would say nobody's ever had experience like I have. I've dealt with some very good people. I've dealt with some very bad people, and I know who the bad ones are and the good ones are. You know, don't forget, I was very successful in primarily the real estate business. And people used to say, who's worse, a politician or a vicious real estate developer? And I'd always say, you know, the real estate developer is far worse. But after about 3 months and getting to know scum like Adam Schiff and other people.
That's one thing I love about Trump, bro. He will call you out. He don't care. He's like, then I get to know scum like Adam Schiff.
Like that. I said, no, actually, real estate people are quite nice by comparison.
You said you plan to speak with President Putin soon. What about President Zelensky, and what's your message?
Yeah, I would, but he's told me he wants to make a deal. Zelensky wants to make a deal.
Yo, there's like, all right, black people, real quick. What's wrong with y'all? I got black people like hit me up in my DMs right now on Twitter. I don't know if y'all want me to show y'all. like they're mad that Trump signed an executive order to stop like the anchor situation. People coming in here from different countries having babies in America and being like the birthright. He's getting rid of that. Why are y'all black people going crazy and mad at Trump over that? Do you know, like, black people, let me tell you something. Do y'all know what's going on with the Democrats got tired of? They got tired of y'all asking for reparations. Y'all were giving them their vote. Y'all vote, right? You're giving them y'all vote. They're giving you nothing for it. And y'all keep questioning them about reparations. Well, we keep giving y'all the vote, massa. When you gonna give us some reparations and all that, massa? That's what y'all keep doing, right? They're tired of y'all doing that. And black people, it's not that many of us in America, right? So they're opening up the borders to, the illegal immigrants, right? They come here, they flood the border, they have babies here, and they're having babies at a more rapid pace than us, right? Because a lot of us are even scared to have kids now because the woman will leave and, you know what I mean, get on Section 8 and all of that, whatever they try to do. Because it's incentivized not to be with the man if you're a black woman. That's what it is, right? The government has incentivized that. What is it, Lyndon Johnson and all that? So they've been incentivized not to have the black man in the household. So now, we kind of get scared to even have children, right? So you got the people that are flooding in here having kids. They're going to out-populate us. I don't see a lot of these people on Univision talking about, we need to stand up for the black man. It's the great replacement theory. Y'all already complaining that y'all can't get jobs. Y'all already complaining that y'all can't get like loans to get businesses and all of that. Y'all already complaining. You're already complaining that when you finally get a business, it's not enough black people to sustain your business for, the all black people coming in there and buy. You know what I'm saying? Some people want to buy from all black people. I don't care like what race you is. If you got the better product, I'm going. If it's Chinese store, like whatever, if it's the better product, I'm going. If I'm going to get good customer service, I'm going. Right. But some people believe in spending money like in the black, community and all of that. But it's not enough of us to sustain these businesses. Right? Y'all got a lot of problems. But we got a lot of problems as people. I don't see these foreigners, like even the people coming from Africa, you know what I mean? They're going through Mexico to come in here, or from Brazil and South America, they're coming through Mexico, Venezuela, coming through Mexico to come here. I don't see them advocating for y'all, for anything. If anything, they're making fun of y'all. But y'all will go out of y'all way to fight against yourselves. Why do we do that? Do you want to be replaced, dog? Because that's what's happening. And Biden and Kamala was going to speed it up. Gavin Newsom, hey, they got a voter ID law. Trump was just talking about it recently. You hear what he said, right? He said that they made a law. If you ask somebody if they're from the United States, he can get fired. It's a problem. Why do you think Gavin Newsom don't want to stop people from flooding in there? You think he likes black people? Just think about it. You think Kamala really likes you? You don't even know nothing about her. Did you know she spent her formative years in Canada? She went to high school in Canada. She started out in college in Canada. You think she riding with you? And you're willing to just give her your vote because of her color. And she was going to continue to try to take your freedom of speech away. Do you know that President Trump, remember when Ice Cube was saying Trump is the only one that was willing to speak to me about trying to figure out a way to get some sort of reparations? to allocate $500 billion towards black Americans. And guess what happened? When Ice Cube and Trump was willing to sit down, guess who stopped it? Black people. Because y'all was mad that Ice Cube was trying to talk to Trump to get something for y'all.
I don't know if Putin does. He might not. He should make a deal.
Okay.
I think he's destroying Russia by not making a deal.
They're like, yeah, but Kamala was black. Bro, Kamala is everything. She's Indian. She's this. Candace Owens exposing like her family lineage. We finding out she's something completely different. Like, bruh, this dude messaged me. Like, who he think he is, like, getting rid of the... Like, what is you talking about, bruh? What's wrong with... Bruh, what is... Not all black people. What's wrong with some of us? We is out of control, bruh. This dude has been trying to help us. It ain't all about reparations. It's about, if you're not going to give us reparations, give us a fighting chance. And he's giving us a fighting chance out here. That's why people was making money when he was president.
In big trouble. You take a look at their economy, you take a look at the inflation in Russia. So I would.
What, he got to give you some Jordans or something for y'all to smarten up? Not all black people like, shut up, I'm black, thug life. But man, like what they be saying about us, like sometimes like you give them some Jordans in a jersey. They'll be happy. Give them a Swiss of sweets. I don't care about, bruh. And basketball. It's ridiculous.
I got along with him great, and, you know, I would hope he wants to make a deal.
Mr. President, are you keeping U.S. sanctions on Russia until he makes a deal?
Well, sanctions or tariffs. I think the word tariff is...
No, I did not just say all that when I got 189,000 views on this video. They be making me mad, bro. Nah, man, like, no, I do not like, bro, they be misrepresenting like, this is crazy.
Much better, because it keeps you down.
Somebody said, are you FBA? I was just in the spaces with, like, dude from the FBA dude. Like, talking to him. Me and him had a one-on-one conversation in spaces 3 weeks ago.
Are stronger, and I think tariffs are more effective. I mean, I use sanctions on Iran. Iran was broke. When I left office, Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, none. They were flat broke. And October 7th would have never happened. And I think you all know that. It would have never happened. They had no money. Now they're rich, but, you know, they're weakened in a different way. I would say that the one attack by Israel really set them back. It really set them back. The Pages and others. You know, the attack on air defense was a bad attack for.
What are you signing now?
It's an executive order relating to reforms to the federal workforce, including to the senior executive service.
We're getting rid of all of the cancer. I call it cancer. The cancer caused by the Biden administration.
How confident are you, Mr. President, that you can keep the ceasefire in Gaza and conclude the troop phase?
I'm not confident. That's not our war, it's their war, but I'm not confident. But I think they're very weakened on the...
Somebody said, are you FBA? I literally just talked to Tariq Nasheed like 3 weeks ago. I was in the spaces. We had a one-on-one. I could say what the reality is. The reality is we need to wake up.
You understand?
Do you support a two-state solution?
Gaza, boy,
That's what Candace Owens be telling people, like, wake up. She not like against us with everything. She's just saying, wake up.
looked at a picture of Gaza. Gaza is like a massive demolition site. That place is, it's really got to be rebuilt in a different way.
Do you plan to help rebuilding Gaza?
I might. You know, Gaza is interesting. It's a phenomenal location. On the sea, the best weather. You know, everything's good. It's like some beautiful things could be done with it, but it's very interesting. But some fantastic things could be done with Gaza.
How do you see the future in governance for Gaza?
Well, it depends. I can't imagine you could have, well, you certainly can't have the people that were there. Most of them are dead, by the way. Right? Most of them are dead. But they didn't exactly run it well. Run viciously and badly.
Sorry,
So you can't have that.
Let me show y'all something, bro. This is what I be talking about.
Selling to the Negro is expressed in...
Listen to what he's saying.
The secret of selling to the Negro is expressed in one word. That word is recognition. But perhaps because he's had so little of it, the Negro needs even more. He needs to feel important and appreciated. This need is a very real and important one. It shows up even in many of the Negro's shopping habits. Anyone who sells or wants to sell to the Negro customer should know about some of these habits. To begin with,
they're saying because you've never had like confidence or whatever, like you try to buy like super expensive things to try to overcompensate for that. And then they take advantage of that, you know what I mean? And sell you super high priced things.
Most Negroes buy by brand. They ask for products by name. They're quick to turn down offers.
He said most ask for brands. They ask for products by name, right? Like a white dude would just wear a white t-shirt. I've seen, I don't know how many times I went to the golf course and seen like, bro, I used to do security for Tiger Woods. He's like a golfer, right? And I'll be at the Masters, right? And it'd be like mad white dudes, like rich, like them, like Italians, like all of that, whatever. Like them too, like rich. And they be wearing like white t-shirts, green t-shirts. Be having mad bread. You know what I mean? But us, we gotta have a Nike check. We gotta have a Jordan logo. We gotta have the Yeezys. You know, that's like, you know, we be spending our money on the silly stuff. It's ridiculous.
Brands. Do you wonder why? You see, for a long time, the Negro has...
Yeah, well, I mean, I did security for Tiger Woods. Like, what's wrong with that? Like, he's cool.
Has been sold a lot of shoddy, second-class merchandise. So now he asks for name brands in order to make sure he gets his money's worth.
See, because he always had shoddy merchandise back in the past, and now he only wants name brands. This is like eye-opening. That's why, like, I'm completely against like just spending all my money on brands. Like, no, I'd rather put my money in a stock or something else.
This woman, for example, is buying fine crystalware, but she is also buying the admiration and approval of her friends and relatives.
You hear what he said? They're talking about the psyche of the black person. She's not shopping for herself. She's shopping to buy stuff that's going to give her approval from other people. And she's shopping for fine crystalware.
It's a well-known fact that many Negro customers are influenced by the opinions of others. What their friends may think of a certain item often decides whether or not the sale is made.
That was deep. And this sounds like it was back in the...
You see what I'm saying? We gotta wake up, bro. Get off the Jordans and all of that. Gotta have the Nike, Balenciaga. As soon as I get a little bit of money, give it to Gucci, Louis Vuitton. Like, no, that's ridiculous.
TikTok, sir, do you pause any decision on Chinese tariffs until you know what the resolution on TikTok will be? Are those things
No,
connected
if
at all?
China didn't approve it, we could put tariffs on China. Don't forget. China charges us tariffs, and we charge them very little, except for what I did. I put a lot of them. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars. But until I came along, China never paid 10 cents to this country. They ripped us off, and they never paid anything. But like, if we wanted to make a deal with TikTok and it was a good deal, and China wouldn't approve it, then I think ultimately they'd approve it, because we'd put tariffs on China. Maybe. I'm not saying I would, but you certainly could do that. And if we said, well, if you're not going to approve it, then that's a certain hostility, and we'll put tariffs of 25, 30, 40, 50%, even 100%. And if we did that, I think they'd approve it.
President Trump, you've seen the other living presidents a couple times in the last few months. If you ever had to call on one of them for advice about anything that's going on here, which one would you call?
It's an interesting. Well, I thought Bill Clinton was a very good politician. I don't think he was used properly. I think they disrespected him. When Hillary was running, he came back and he said, you know, you better get up to Michigan and Wisconsin. You remember that, Peter. Every house has a Trump sign on it. And they all laughed at him because the Republicans hadn't won Michigan or Wisconsin for decades, long time. And they all laughed at Bill Clinton. Like, the hell does he know? And he turned out to be right, because I won both of them. And then we just won both in this election. So we won Wisconsin and Michigan and every other swing state. We won all the swing states. All 7. They talked about 7 swing states. We won them all. So, but Bill Clinton he had a great political sense, I think.
You looked like you were having a good conversation with
Sandra, get back here. Sandra said it's been fun. Stop playing, Sandra. Stop playing. Evelyn Ivy said most definitely before it's too late. Drill, baby, drill. We don't leave nothing for our kids. Aries said, what % of blacks do you think buy Jordans? Bro, I came from the hood. Everybody had them. My grandmother had Jordans. Everybody. I think I was the only person that never had Jordans. I think I only had one pair, and I bought the wrong ones. My son was like wanting Jordans and stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna give me a pair. I never had no Jordans. I bought the Jumpmans. He was like, yo, you got the Jumpmans, bro. Them the wrong ones. I'm like, yo. I got rid of them. But nah, like I don't buy that stuff, bro.
And you'd like to know what else? Everybody wants to know. And I wouldn't want to buy it. But we were having some crazy conversation. Why do you asking a question like that? You know, I don't think you want to know. You might not. You might be insulted.
It's an executive order relating to holding former government officials accountable for unlawful disclosure of sensitive information. This next one, sir, is a declaration of a national energy emergency.
So you also
That's a
have
big one.
several-
You know what that allows you to do? That means you can do whatever you have to do to get out of that problem. And we do have that kind of an emergency.
President Trump, at some point will you use your powers of the presidency to tell Americans who are concerned about drones?
Yeah, oh,
2 weeks
good.
ago, what exactly
I will.
was happening? Can you tell us now?
In fact, I'd like to know because I just got here.
What do you think?
I just came here. I've been here for what, 15 minutes now.
Do people listening, because this is going out live?
And I got to read this letter too. Because of you, I found this letter.
I can read it for you.
It's interesting. Yeah, I know you would. Your father would too.
Corey said he's been signing executive orders all day at this point.
But is it anything these drones? Is it anything?
Oh, wow.
No, I think it's terrible. I would like to find out what it is and tell the people.
And can you commit to some kind of?
In fact, I'd like to do that. Could we find out what that was, Susie?
Yeah, he's got like like his lawyers and stuff like that, like his administration. Like, if you're really going through all of those executive orders, man, you're gonna be there like for a week, like reading through all that stuff, bro.
Okay. Yeah, why don't we find out immediately? I mean, I can't imagine it's an enemy, or there would have been, people would have gotten blown up all over. Maybe they were testing things. I don't know why they wouldn't have said what it was. They had a lot of them flying over Bedminster, which is interesting.
And with the events today and yesterday, was everything moved inside just for cold weather, or was there some kind of security concern?
No security. Because they had everything shut down to drones. You know, you can shut that down pretty easily if you're sophisticated. They're very sophisticated, these people. No, it was just cold weather, and we made a good move.
He said he's going to get arthritis signing all these executive orders. Hey, man, y'all want the president to actually do something? That's what he got to do.
Because, first of all, I thought it was incredible at the Capitol today. You know why I liked it? Because I got great reviews on that speech. I got great reviews. Can you believe it? They actually were fair. Maybe the fake news is changing.
Unleashing energy production.
Unleashing energy production. But I thought it was, I think having it in the Capitol.
And he remembered the executive order. He's just like, yeah, energy production.
It's great. It's
shout out to Henry Ward.
You can take care of the people you have to take care of. The city was booming. And
shout
if
out
we
to
would have been
Mitchell
outside,
Gas.
people would have been hurt because it was really cold. You know, it was like, looked sunny. But when you stood outside for 10 minutes, people were running back in. It was really cold and really windy. The wind.
I don't know how to. Hey, did y'all watch the inauguration? Like when him and Joe Biden and all of them like walked out. Look, when I just walked from I went to go get a burrito at Blue Coast Burrito, right? And then I drove home. I went from my car to my house, bro. And like I've got like a you know what I'm saying, like a thing that I drive into with my car, right? And it's like maybe 8 feet. The door is from my car. Bruh, like when the cold hit me, my legs almost broke. These dudes was standing out in the cold like that. I could not have been the president today, bruh. I'd be like, we going back in. Like, no, bring that car to the door. They was standing out there taking pic, like, no,
Brings it down a lot. So we made the right decision. You couldn't have stayed. I don't think you could have had it out. You know how cold it was today. It was, people went out for a little while just to test it. They couldn't stay out more than 10 minutes. They all came back in. So we would have had a disaster if we did that, and people would have been hurt.
And you know, like when you're out in the cold like that and you get into a warm area, what do you do? You're sniffling. He's not even doing that. I would be signing executive orders right now, like, hold up, go on my nose, like trying to, like, he ain't even doing that.
Was that related to the Hunter Biden situation?
Which one?
The one on unlawful disclosures by federal officials, is that related?
No, I think it's just more general than that. It's not Hunter Biden. I was surprised that President Biden would go and pardon his whole family, because that makes him look very guilty. You know, I could have pardoned my family. I could have pardoned myself, my family. I said, if I do that, it's going to make me look very guilty. I don't think I'd be sitting here, frankly. If I did that, I don't think I'd be sitting here right now.
Greg Wilson with the $4.99. He said, think about how long this day was for him. Then you got to, Greg Wilson, then dude is like getting prepared for all of this. Like what he's got to do and all of that. You know what I'm saying? He's been prepared for this for like weeks, months. You know what I mean? And then like I thought it was hard how he walked out. You know, everybody was like being walked out by people. And then like they go, you know, JD Vance, like his wife and all that, everybody being walked out from people. Then you see him walking by himself. I'm like, that's the dog right there. Dog life. Shout out to Trump. Stand on his own 2 feet.
Because I would have...
Shout out to JD Vance, too.
Would have shown that you're guilty. But by pardoning his brother or brothers, by pardoning all of those people that he pardoned, by pardoning J6, the Unselect Committee, they destroyed all of the documents. They deleted all of the information. There's no information. And a lot of the information pertains to Nancy Pelosi because she was given 100, I mean, you know this, it's on tape with her daughter.
Christian Medwin is wild. He said old people need less sleep. Bro, you is crazy, bro.
Nancy Pelosi was responsible for not taking advantage of 10,000 soldiers or 1,000. You wouldn't have you could have used 400. It was a relatively small crowd. It wasn't the crowd that was at the mall. It was a small crowd. So I was a little bit surprised that he did it, because it makes him look guilty. I mean, he's going to have to live with it. Now, with that being said, it's unbelievable precedent. It creates for a president. But the precedent is unbelievable. Now maybe every president that leaves office, they're going to pardon every person they ever met, so they don't have some lunatic like deranged Jack Smith, who's a total lunatic, by the way. Not a smart guy, he's a dummy. But we beat the hell out of him. And I helped my reputation.
Do you think you have to do the same thing at the end of this term?
Well, I guess now I have precedent to do it.
Yo, Nancy Pelosi didn't even go to the inauguration. Evelyn Ivy said, I used to wear Jordans all the time in my teens. My favorite pair of Jordans was the black, turquoise, and purple ones. Somebody said Pelosi on a walker and in charge. How a good gust of wind could take her away.
Want to do that? No, I think it makes you.
Rasputin says 78 executive orders on the first day is the most in U.S. history. Shout out to him.
Very guilty. I think it makes Biden look very bad, very weak, and very guilty. And I mean, he pardoned everybody. How about this J6 committee? Why is he pardoning them?
Yeah, exactly. And then they just got rid of documents and all of that. It's not me saying it. This is the president of the United States saying that. Like, you pardon that whole committee? Like, that makes them look like mad guilty. It's like, if you Joe Biden, let's get this committee together. It's called the January 6th committee. We going after them. They want to support Trump. We going after them. We making examples. Don't worry. At the end of all of this, y'all gonna be pardoned. Like, that's what it seemed like to me, bruh. Like, I'm not, like, I would, if he let out all of those, some of those January 6 people was wild, and some of them was, I ain't gonna lie. But if he let out all of them January 6 people, I'm not gonna be mad, bro. First of all, Joe Biden pardoned Dr. Fauci, right? He pardoned him, weaponized social media to where if you talked about Dr. Fauci when Biden was president, it was a problem, right? He weaponized social media for Dr. Fauci, right? And he pardoned him. Everybody was suspecting Dr. Fauci was wrong, and, you know, he's like, you know what I mean, advocate for people to get the jab and all of that. Anytime a government doctor is sitting there telling you something, be wary, right? He pardoned him. He pardoned Liz Cheney, the war hawk. He pardoned her. He pardoned Hunter Biden. I don't care if that's his son. Hunter Biden needs to be in jail. He's pardoning all these death row inmates. Like, dude is wildin'. Like, no, like, Biden is wildin', bro. Then he just pardoned his whole family. Biden is something else, man.
The reason is because if you delete and destroy documentation, everything.
Bro, imagine if Trump would have deleted or destroyed documentation, because, you know, like Hillary Clinton, she could lose emails and all that. But let's just say when they were coming up trying to charge him for like business and all that, right? Imagine if he would have lost documentation or something, what they would have did to him. But it's okay for the January 6th committee to just let all that stuff disappear. Because they're going to get pardoned, bro. Like, we thought Nixon was bad with Watergate. Biden is terrible. Biden took a whole year from y'all life. A whole year. We was in jail for a year. Like, bruh. You thought, like, the COVID lockdown, like, bro, we was in jail for a year. That's how I felt. All the businesses that couldn't, like, survive it, nowhere to be found anymore. He put a lot of people out of business. What did Trump say when he was president? He's like, take your hydrochloroquine, wear a mask if you want to. Now look how they treat it. You said, who was my favorite president? Trump. My favorite president.
They have nothing because they were guilty as hell. They rigged it.
I have never seen, bro. I've like looked at Coolidge, like looked at all these different presidents, right? I've never seen one as straight shooting like him. Like this is he's the best president ever, bro. Like no president's ever had the Department of Justice weaponize them like that, against them like that, and won by a landslide. Like we know, like Roosevelt won by a landslide, but he ain't have to go through this. He only won because he was like an actor. Like this dude had to go through some mess. They tried to destroy everything with him, and it didn't work. And he still stands tall by himself.
A rigged deal. And when you do that, they look very bad, but
50 subscribers until we get 112,000 subscribers. Shout out to everybody that's subscribing to the channel. Appreciate y'all.
I was a little surprised.
Minister Society said Obama is your favorite president. Of course, your name is Minister Society. Yes, you gonna like Obama. I'm joking with you, bro. Yeah, forcing vaccination. You know how many nurses like lost their jobs because they wouldn't get vaccinated? Like you're like what the government can do, people don't understand. They can like they can't technically make you do things like against your rights or whatever, but they got the economy, bro. So like if you don't want to participate in this economy and you don't want a job, don't get it. But if you want a job and you want to feed your family, you want to pay your mortgage and your rent and your car note, or you're going to lose your car, you're going to get that jab. You're going to go to work. You know what I mean? So that's what they was doing. Like Biden was playing with y'all life. Greg Wilson with the $4.99. He said, remember, he gets security briefings, even as ex-POTUS.
Liz Cheney, I mean, she's a lunatic. And she lost by the greatest margin in the history of a politician running for Congress, like 40 points. The reason it was the greatest is because anybody losing that badly is going to drop out. But she's a nut job. She doesn't drop out. You know, she just keeps chugging forward. And she lost by almost 40 points. That's the biggest number anybody's ever lost by. But why would Biden do that? He pardoned her and pardoned everybody. The reason is that they destroyed documents. And if you're even in a civil case, which this wouldn't be, I mean, people go to jail for a long time for doing that. What's this one?
That's unleashing American energy, sir. It relates to easing permitting processes and other regulatory.
Somebody said executive orders do not pass immediately. We already talked about that. We said they could take up to 6 months. Tim Harsh is a member on the channel. He said, my man's putting in that work like Trump. Thanks, Piper Boy. Shout out to you, bro.
Systems to ensure that we can produce energy efficiently to drive the American economy forward.
President Trump, looking around the office, we noticed some changes from the way that Biden had it set up. Can you confirm that you have added back the Diet Coke?
I think this, first of all, I just got here. So my people came in. They have extraordinary decorator sense, right? We just see some of the pictures. Well, that's a good one. I could live with him. I could live with George Washington, I can tell you. I can live with Thomas Jefferson. I can live with most of them. They took a very safe route. They don't have any bad ones up there.
Withdrawing from
What is this one?
Withdrawing from the World Health Organization, sir.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Withdrawing from the World Health Organization. Oh.
So we paid $500 million to World Health when I was here, and I terminated it. China with 1.4 billion people. We have 350 to pay. We have, nobody knows what we have because so many people came in illegally, but let's say we have 325. They had 1.4 billion. They were paying 39 million, we were paying 500 million. It seemed a little unfair to me. So that wasn't the reason, but I dropped out. They offered me to come back for 39 million. In theory, it should be less than that, but you know. And when Biden came back, they came back for 500 million. He knew that you could have come back for 39 million. They wanted us back so badly, so we'll see what happens.
Mr. President,
Pretty sad to think of it. China pays 39 million and we pay 500 million. And China's a bigger country.
Oh,
President, you
wow.
spoke about inflation today in your remarks. What
Like, if you really listen to Donald Trump when he's signing these executive orders and he's telling you about different things that's happened in the history of education, bro, the amount of money that the United States pays versus other countries for a lot of different things is staggering. We pay way more. Like, they're literally like looking at us like we're the silliest minded business people ever. Like the United Nations, like he's saying like we pay like $200 billion, like more. Like when he was talking about that at a different time, he said we pay $200 billion more than everybody in like the United Nations for different things. Like why? And then we've got like the strongest military. So if we got the strongest military and these countries are dependent on us and they have economies and they're making money, why are they not paying into it? He's like, no, we're changing that. We're going to make them pay more money. They need us. Like, you know what I mean? Like common sense, bro. Like they just sitting back like our military is protecting them. We paying for everything. It's like, bro, like what? They're like, these Americans are really slow. Let's keep this going, y'all. Stack some more money up. Trump like, we ain't doing that, bro. I'm in business. I know how this works. Y'all not about to play us.
actions are you taking today that will have a direct impact for Americans on their everyday costs to bring the cost down?
5 more subscribers to 112,000 subscribers. Shout out to y'all. Private said we subsidize the entire planet. He's a subscriber. Shout out to you. It's Jess. I ain't seen you in a minute. Said, if you need our military, you will pay us. That is common sense. It's Jess. Yes. And then somebody said, did he end the war today? Bro, he's in talks to try to, he wasn't president, bro. Like he's president now. He's doing all of this, right? Major things he's doing right now. And he's still got, just imagine what he's going to do in a month. Shout out to Trump.
Biggest thing and factor for inflation is energy.
Now you can say genders. You know what I'm saying? Like now you can say it's only 2 genders, a man and a female. You can say that now. Because he became president and you could say it. You know what I'm saying? Like before social media, you couldn't say that when Biden was in. Now you can. He said, like, we making this to what? No, it's like the United States recognized 2 genders, male and female. He said that.
They screwed up my energy policy, and then they went back to it. You know, they heard it really badly, and then they went back to it, and they started drilling more, but by that time it was too late. Many of these things...
Christian Madwood says, someone said we sending financial aid to European countries, maybe Ukraine, but nobody else. Bro, we sent money to like Israel, money to like Africa, money to like mad different countries, bro. We've been sending money. Like we just got mad at Kamala and reacted to like mad stuff of like billions of dollars going to different countries. Like, no, we shouldn't be doing that. We got homelessness in America. That's a problem. And I'll say like mental health is a problem. Some people want to be homeless. You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't, some people do. You know, it's a mental health crisis. So, you know, some people just unfortunate situations may have lost their jobs. You know, it's hard to bounce back on your feet in America, bro. Like, let's just say you have a serious emergency. Something happens, you lose your house. You know what I mean? And then you live in an expensive place and you got to get a job. It's hard to get a job with no address. What does a job ask you for? What is your address? You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get a job. You finally get a job. Now you got to save up not just a month, you know, for a deposit for rent. You got to have like 2 to 3 months like of a deposit before you even move into a place now. It's like crazy. It's hard to get on your feet in America. We got a lot of problems here. I'm not saying give everybody a handout, but at least try to focus on some services that can help people here. Not give everybody everything. Some people just want everything for free. But figure some things out. You know what I'm saying? I think veterans need a lot of help. These people have fought for us to be, bro. I've been looking at, like I told you, I was studying North Korea, and we talked about a lot of stuff I studied in North Korea before we get back to this. This is a great country. A lot of people have laid down their lives, literally. They will be turning over in their, if they knew what Biden was doing. Like, nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get this country back on track.
That we're signing, and that
America first.
Doug Burgum is going to be signing, and Chris Wright, who's phenomenal. And, you know,
112,000 subscribers. Shout out to everybody. Thug Life. We got, so what do we get? We got 2,000 subscribers in 2 days. Shout out to y'all.
Energy, Department of Energy. We're going to be taking a lot. We're going to make a lot of money from energy. We have more than anybody else. We're going to make a lot of money from energy. We're going to make a lot of money from tariffs. You know, European Union charges us. They have a VAT tax of 20%, but it's really much higher than that. And then
Christian Bentway, he's a subscriber. He said, "Not in how you was the best president America has ever had." Hey, he was kind of running America for a minute, right? It seemed like all the help and support he be getting. But one thing I like is that, you know, the guy that runs Ukraine, right? Zelensky, he wasn't invited to the inauguration. I like that. Even Candace Owens was talking about that today. I like that. And you know why I like it? Because it's like, yo, we ain't about to be like super backing you. You figure out how to end this war with Russia. Like, it's going to stop. We're not about to keep sending you tens of billions of dollars. That ain't about to keep happening. We're not about to keep, like, because you know, with the American government, the Biden administration, I feel like, I'm not saying this is a fact, but it kind of like feels like it, right? They had a battery in Zelensky's back. Like, do this for us. Yeah, Russia wanted to act up. We got your back. Go ahead. You know, maybe we give you some money. We fight this proxy war. Well, it's just weakening Russia, right? So maybe the Biden administration had maybe some sort of strategy with that, like weakening Russia. But at the end of the day, Zelensky is a puppet. And, you know, Trump's not, he don't care about all that. He just wants it all to stop. Because when a war is going, shout out to Wesley Williamson with the 199. He said, "I like you because you real AF." Shout out to you, bro. But like, you know, Trump understand. He's a businessman, right? I don't care what people think. That's how I feel. He is a businessman, right? So he understands if there's wars going on, you got suppliers, right? You got all these, like, you know, the ports and the big, huge, like, what are the craters with the, you know, things being shipped and all that to different countries. Well, people are going to be like, well, we can't ship certain product to Ukraine because there's a war going on. This is affecting our bottom line. We have to raise prices. Who's going to end up paying them high prices for things, right? Because we're losing money in Ukraine and Russia because this conflict is going on. You and me and other countries are going to have to flip the bill and pay extra. Because you think them countries going to just be out of that money? No. They've got investors. They've got a company to run. He understands that as a business person, war is expensive. Not only is it expensive for countries who want to get involved and donate and all of that, that's billions of dollars, right? It could be expensive because you're losing people. And that's like an expense you can't get back. And then it's expense from businesses. You know what I mean? He's a businessman. He knows this is not good. We need to end these wars. That's why he gave Hamas an ultimatum. What did they do the other day? They start releasing some hostages. He said, if those hostages are not released by the time I become president, all H words gonna break loose. This is what he said when I get into office. What did they start doing? Releasing hostages. Now, I read that they released 3 hostages. You know what I'm saying? I read that they took over like 251 hostages. I don't know how many are still alive. You know what I'm saying? So I don't, you know, as time goes on, we'll see if hostages are released from Hamas. You know what I'm saying? But like all of this has to stop. And Israel, I think, needs to be put in check too. Like all of this has to be stopped. If you want the economy to be great all over, like it's got to stop. So that's why I like his methods of doing things. It's not weak to end a war. It's strong to end a war.
The equivalent, almost the equivalent of a tariff. And they're tough. They're very tough. They don't take our cars. They don't take our farm product. They don't take almost anything. And yet we take their cars, we take their farm product. We take a lot from them. So, you know, we have like a $300 billion deficit with the European Union. So we'll straighten that out with either tariffs or they have to buy our oil. The one thing they can do, oil and gas, the one thing they can do to catch up quickly, buy our oil and gas.
Will you travel?
And they should do that.
Will you travel to China this year?
Yeah, it could be. You know, I've had the invite.
President Xi
I would do,
invited you to
yeah.
come this year?
Talking about the European Union and the tariffs, like, what do you mean when you say that the European Union country like is part of BRICS?
That or what?
BRICS. You said
Oh, BRICS. No, I was talking about BRICS. BRICS is 6 nations. I think it's 7 nations. And they were looking to...
Tim Harsh is a member on the channel. He said, what foreigner was at the inauguration? I really didn't see any, for real.
Do a number of the United States. And if they do that, they won't be happy about what's going to happen to them.
Is there a universal tariff, Mr. President, on all countries?
I may, yeah, but we're not ready for that yet. We may put it, wrap it,
Mr. President.
because essentially all countries take advantage of the U.S. We don't make any good deals in the U.S. It's amazing in a way that we exist. We don't make good deals. We don't have any good deals. We have a deficit with almost, not all, there are a couple, I won't tell you their names because I don't want them to find out about it because they'll feel stupid. But there are a couple of countries that actually don't make money with us. But I don't want to let you know because they'll immediately change that. But we're gonna do, I tell you what, our country has an amazing economic future. I really believe in it.
What kind of universal tariff do you want?
Well, you'd put a universal tariff on anybody doing business in the United States because they're coming in and they're stealing our wealth, they're stealing our jobs, they're stealing our companies, they're hurting our companies. So you put a tariff on to keep them from doing that.
Mr. President, you have yourself
I like that. I like that.
a whole bunch of billionaires today. President Biden, in his farewell address, warned about all of our kids, all our responsible.
Yeah, the CEO of TikTok was there. Well, the ex-CEO. He took CEO out of his bio, but he was there.
Well,
He was we had a Mark Zuckerberg is an alien. He was there. So we had
he had a lot of guys, and then they found out that he didn't know what the hell he was talking about, and I think they deserted him. They deserted him. Those same guys.
Wait, what? Hold up.
They found out that he didn't know what the hell he was talking about, and I think they deserted him. They deserted him. Those same guys. Look, I don't make pretense of smart guys, but there are a lot of smart people around, but they did desert him. They were all with him, every one of them. Now they're all with me. I don't know. It's not going to get anything from me. I don't need money. But I do want the nation to do well, and they're smart people, and they have, they create a lot of jobs. And if they don't do it, China's going to do it. You know, what they've done is they've taken industries and they've taken it away. They outsmarted China. And, we sort of like that. It's okay. They've done a great job. A lot of them. Not all of them.
Protecting women from radical gender ideologies.
Ooh.
Mr. President, going back to the World Health Organization, you were the president during COVID. Don't you see the importance of an organization like that to coordinate a global response?
Sure, I do, but not when you're being ripped off like we are by the World Health. World Health ripped us off. Everybody rips off the United States, and that's it. It's not going to happen anymore. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, guys, let's go.
I loved it. I loved it. Shout out to Trump. Shout out to everybody. Y'all tell me what y'all think down in the comment section below. We got up to 112,000 subscribers. Shout out to everybody. The video has 230,000 views. I appreciate everybody. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I think we all on the same accord in some way. 828 likes. Appreciate everybody for liking the video. We will be back probably in the morning. You know what I mean? To do another live. We'll see how it goes. But shout out to Trump, man. I think he's going to get a lot done in America. I think just sitting down right here for 47 minutes, he got a lot done. You know, more done than I think the whole Biden administration did in the whole 4 years. He did in 47 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Dog. You know what I'm saying? Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think about that. Peace.